Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Synth Geekery, episode 293. It is the 26th of April 2025, and we're streaming live from Perth, Western Australia, and I hope you guys are having an awesome Saturday because mine has been pretty good. It's kind of end of what would you call it, autumn, sort of heading, one more month of autumn to go, but heading into winter here where I live. And I mean, winters are pretty mild in this part of the world. So, but I did notice today it was just getting a little chilly. I had to, put some tracksuit pants on at night instead of wearing the shorts all day. But anyway, enough about the weather. Hope your synthy days have been good. Let us know in chat if you're new and say hi. Tell us where you're from. We are streaming all over the world on multiple platforms. You should find us on the main ones are obviously YouTube and TikTok and Twitch. And I've got a little graphic, I think, I don't know if it's still here or not, which tells you where they all are. Oh no, it's disappeared now. I had it the other day. I have to find it again. We've got, what have we got? Twitch is twitch.tv is Ranzee Official. That's the address for that one. Facebook would be Ranzee Official as well. Sorry, Twitch. What am I saying? Twitch is Synth Geekery. It's twitch.tv/Synth Geekery. TikTok is Ranzee Official. Facebook is Ranzee Official. I think we're also streaming on Trovo. I don't even know if anyone actually even watches us on that. I don't know what that thing is there. That was from my thing the other day. The follower goal. We can get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. What else? YouTube, of course, which is just Ranzee. Anyway, what's the show about? It is about synthesizers, drum machines, sequencers, samplers, eurorack, modular, desktop synths, modular synths, rack-mounted synths, anything to do with synthesizers, really. Music technology as well. We dabble in that. Software, DAWs, all that sort of stuff. If you've got something that you want us to chat about, we do have a section at the end called Saturday Sonority where you can ask us anything. So you're allowed to literally ask us anything. We'll try and answer it. Hopefully it's not too rude. What can we do? We can get you guys to join us on Zoom. I don't know why the chatbot's not working yet, but anyway, haven't seen it post anything yet. No, it hasn't. So I'll do this manually. There's the Zoom link there. I will post it manually for now in the chat so you guys can get access to that. What a pain to have the chatbot's not working. Ranzee Zoom, grab that, paste it. This is just for YouTubers because I can't paste it anywhere at the moment unless the chatbot turns itself on. Okay, we've pinned that, so it's up the top. So join us on Zoom. Zoom is actually up and running. Let me just get that window open so I can see if anyone's waiting in there. No one's waiting in there, that's cool. There's plenty of room in Zoom, so do join us on that. And as you can see, there's also a few spots available this week. So what we'll probably do, just for now, Darren's away, is we'll go to this view. Hey, that's fixed it. And I think we'll stick with that for a while. Yeah. And I've got the chatties. I've got to get the chatties in here as well somehow, but I'll do that later. Chat. Where is it? Pop out chat. There we go. And I'll say good day to the chatties while I'm doing this. So let me just pop that in now. Because we're streaming on multiple platforms, I'm going to have to keep an eye on some of them, and some of them I won't be able to. So I'm going to ask some volunteers. So if somebody...
I'm happy to... Sorry, I was just going to say I'm already logged into TikTok, so I'm happy to monitor the TikTok. That helps.
Okay, you can monitor TikTok. Whoever's on Twitch in the chat, stick your hand up if you're on Twitch. I can actually see Twitch messages come through, so be nice if I've got like a regular that I can sort of trust in the Twitch chat. Keep that going, and I think that should probably do us because I think the other ones are fairly sort of light on anyway. So I've got YouTube covered here. We've got moderators in there. You guys can see them already, like Henrik and Andy even are moderators. But anyway, big hello to all of you guys in chat. I haven't actually said properly hello to you guys for a while. So you can see guys like Manny, Dr. Synth there, who's one of our channel members. He's got the little icon next to his name. So, and Keithan Watford's another one, and to Sophie is another one in there, to Sophie Music. So if you guys are interested, we do actually do quite a lot of things for the members. We do early release videos. Also, you get free access to Patreon if you're a member, and there's actually still vouchers available for you guys. If you are members of the stream, you can actually go into the member chat community section, and the latest post in there, you can grab yourself a voucher. It's a free voucher to get you a free month of Patreon. And in Patreon, I posted up a little April Jam track in there, so you can go and listen to that for free. So there's reasons to be in all of these little platforms. We get benefits for it. There's a stack of stuff. I had a look the other day, 262 posts in Patreon for members. So there's a stack of stuff in there over the years. It's been slowly populating. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the free ad-free videos that I'm posting up there now. Access to free downloads for albums, all sorts of stuff are in Patreon. So do check it out. Ranzee is the Patreon channel name. So patreon.com/Ranzee. What else can we do? You guys can just be channel members here. So just click join right now. It's really, really cheap to join. What is it? Not even a cup of coffee to join. It's nothing. Very, very cheap. And you'll get access to all sorts of cool stuff in the members area in YouTube. And, you know, other than that, let's see you on Zoom at least. Now, have I got everybody in? I do. How come I feel like there's one missing? I don't. Okay, cool. Oh, it's a chatty, so I've got missing. Okay, cool. Right, we should get started. Now, in the show each week, we do regular segments. If you guys don't know about that, we do a segment called Funny Side that's coming up soon. We have a quiz called Synth Quiz. We also have the news, which we talk about news products. And then we have Price Watch. This week, Price Watch is going to be run by Andy below me. He's going to do Price Watch because he actually went and did the research this week. So good on him. He's going to have fun doing that. Chatbot's working. Hooray! Is Chatbot working?
Yeah. I've not seen it yet.
Yes, it has. It's worked. Yeah, it's worked. Cool. Well, it's showing me that it's online anyway, so that's good. Now I can actually put the poll in there because you can't do it until it turns on. I don't know why it takes so long to like poll. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So yeah, and there's a lot of interaction happening in the shows. You guys know there's like we do the Zoom calls. We have the you can vote with polls in YouTube chat. I can't work out how to get it to do it with both Twitch and YouTube at the moment because the chatbot, someone who might actually know a little bit more about Streamlabs, you guys can message me later on during the week if you like on Discord or whatever. By the way, Discord, we do run Discord 24/7. There's a server there. Join it. It's free to join. There's a lot of stuff going on during the non-show part of the week. So do join us, and you can hit me up with questions on that. I'm just curious as to why I can't get the chatbot to work in multiple chatting
sessions.
Yeah, like across Twitch and across YouTube. I think it just only works on YouTube. But there is another chatbot with Streamlabs, sorry. Getting mixed up platforms I'm on, called Cloudbot, and I could switch across to Cloudbot. However, if I do that, all the currency that you guys have got, this is you guys watching right now, of all the, since I've started the chatbot, which is probably, I don't know how long now, since the start of the year, I guess, that all reset to 0. So I don't know how I can copy it across.
So the chatbot takes its bat and ball home then.
Basically, yeah, which is kind of sad. I was looking at the currency section, and it shows how many hours some of you guys have been on the show. Like for example, if I go currency, can I click on it? No, I can't. Oh, yes, I can. Click on hours. So Wagyu is currently at number 1 with 32 hours since the chatbot started. I don't know what 32 hours means, how many months it is. I probably could find out if I dug in there somewhere. But I'll give you the top 3. Half God, Half Beast is number 2. And Azio Head is number 3.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yay.
So good on you guys. Right. We should start off with, we've got a guest quizmaster this week. And I didn't get any messages from Jack, who won last week. So I've allowed Gilly to come in and be the quiz master this week for the synth quiz. And so enjoy his clues this week. So here we go. Oh, indeed it is. And everyone will probably be screaming at me because I forgot to introduce the guys that were on the video, but I'll do that in a sec. We'll just get through this. Right, the first clue for your quiz this week is, thanks Gilly, here we go. Integral ribbon controller. Sorry, it's chopping off the letters. I could probably fix that if I really could be asked. What are we? Is it going to crash the show if I click on that? Oh God, I hope it hasn't crashed the show. Oh, here we go. It's size 84, so let's change it to size 72. Still chopping it off a bit.
So it's the G, isn't it?
Just the G.
Just the G.
Yeah. Anyway, there's your first clue. You guys can bank that one away. Someone will probably even know the answer already. Let me just introduce you guys to the other three gentlemen that are here. And over where my hand is pointing that way there is Chris. Wave hello, Chris. And down in the bottom left-hand corner below me is Andy. Hello, Andy.
Hello.
And then over in the bottom right-hand corner, which I can't really work out how to do with my hand, is Ian. Hello, Ian.
Hello. Greetings.
If you guys haven't met any of these guys, well, you have now. And just so you know, they all volunteer their time. So make sure you do click like.
We are mad, aren't we? We are.
Do click like the stream, because they take it personally if you don't like them.
Loco.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to come round and shout down your letterbox.
What we'll do is a bit later on, we're going to do How's Your Week Been? And we're going to have a little insight into their lives where they have a chat about what they've been up to with their synth world and things like that. So stick around for that. It happens a little bit after the news. What we should do next is we should actually have a look at these things called memes. Probably should actually set the poll up, shouldn't I? Right, so we are voting on memes this week, and the first one was sent in by Mr. JX3D himself, Big Henrik. How are you, buddy? I'm not going to call it herpes on the poll. I'm just going to call it the Elisis one. Yeah. Anyway, that one is really good. Actually, you know what? Rules. I think it looks better when you actually make it bigger. No, bigger. There we go. Now you can read it.
There we go.
It's coming towards the screen.
Yes, introducing the Elisis herpes from the labs of Sonic Invasion. Yeah, you guys can read this anyway.
Your sound, your strain.
Yeah. Indeed. Right, that's the first one. Next one we've got is this one. So I was cleaning and found a Behringer manual. Did you buy something from Behringer? Oh yeah, it was a synth. It was $400. I'm sorry, I forgot to tell you. Oh, I don't care that that you bought a synth. I'm just trying to figure out why you bought a Behringer.
Ouch.
That is nasty.
I'm still trying to figure that out for my own uses. So
yeah.
That is nasty.
You wake up every day and you ask yourself a hard question.
Why have I done this?
I went into a music store today. I'll tell you guys a bit later about what I did there and everything. But there was a lot of Behringer in there. A lot. A lot of hardware gear was Behringer. Next.
Behringer world.
Believe in your music. Just believe in it, guys, because nobody else will.
As well.
it's actually true.
I'm going to call this one Hard Truth.
Guarantee.
Sad face.
In the poll, this one is going to be called Hard Truth.
That's what you guys call struth.
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 Yeah.
Struth.
Strike me, Ray. All right,
Stain the crows.
Stain the crows. Right, this one is, I say, everybody, quantizing is for peasants.
I love explanation.
It's also Elisis too. See that? Look at that. Another Elisis.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They're having a comeback, mate. They're having a comeback.
I actually
Trust
love
me.
some Elisis stuff.
And Lewis Cole is not related to me in any way.
I was wondering about that, actually.
No.
Anyway. And this one was sent in from Brian. Brian, you guys might remember, he's the Robots Are Red modular manufacturer. And he ordered a sump pump, stuck in US customs for 3 weeks now. Dear. Really, actually, I'll zoom in on this because it's actually he is really good with the graphic design.
Yeah. He's
That is so clever, isn't it?
done a good job there.
Done a very good job. Bit of plug for him as well.
Oh, plug.
Why not? Pardon the plug. Do we have anything else? I'll put sump pump. There's an option there. Yep. Fill the poll out while I'm doing the memes. How's that? That's it, I think. Hooray! We have reached the end of the memes. Let us know in chat what your favourite meme is, and how you do that is following what the instructions say on the poll. What you do is you type in ! vote space and the number that corresponds to the meme that you like the best. So 0 for Elisis, 1 for Berenger, 2 for Hard Truths, 3 for Quantizing, 4 for Sump Pump. And I thought there was a 5th meme, but I'm not right. No, there's not.
Sump Pump always sounds dirty.
It does, doesn't
Remember,
it?
it's 0 based, so there is
Yeah.
5.
So the first one is 0, the second one is
Yeah.
1, third one is... You get
Nice
me.
computer.
Yeah. It's like an array.
Oh, God.
It's an
I've done
array.
it wrong again. I've done it wrong again.
The indice of the array. Yeah, I can see the votes coming in. The
I can't
votes are
follow
coming
simple
in.
instructions, you know that.
Ooh. Oh, yeah, there we go. It takes a couple of seconds, or maybe not a couple, about a second for the chat bot to go, I've read a vote. Interesting. Anyway, we'll keep the votes coming in, guys. And what we might do is, in a couple of seconds, we'll let you know who won that. Which meme won that is. But we'll do the news! We'll do the news! Gosh. We are going to have to put something where Darren is supposed to be, aren't we? Otherwise, we're going to have that every single subsection. And unfortunately, I'm going to have to edit it in when I do the next segment as well. What is Darren? Darren is guest number 1. And how about we put Chatties there? There we go. Chatties can go.
That's nice.
Cool. Don't forget, you can join us on Zoom. There's 3 spots. Look, I can even toggle their little, make them flash for you. 1, 2, 3. There's 3 spots. You guys can be part of the reaction of these products. Now, they're not all modular, so don't run away. There is some modules, though. Starting with this one, let me get my notes up. I don't know why I got a little excited about this, because this is kind of one of these modules that makes you think, that sort of thing. You know what I mean? And the reason why it made me think, is because you can use this for a couple of cool things, but then what you can do with other things, it plays nicely with friends, if that's the way you want to read it. That's probably the way I read it. Anyway, so what is it? It's called The Time. It's by Larix Elektro. These guys make really, really inexpensive modules. I think they should be congratulated for how inexpensive they can produce their gear, and they're actually pretty good quality. What it is, it's actually a manual gate and trigger signal precision, with precision. It functions as a trigger to gate converter, a clock generator, a ramp generator, a trigger delay, and it offers comprehensive control over timing elements in modular setups. It's got multiple inputs and outputs that make it ideal companion for things like an ADSR envelope, or it enhance things like any sort of clock-based thing like a sequencer clock generator or anything like that. So what does it do? It transforms a gate to a trigger, or a trigger to a gate, and it signals that with CV controllable durations. It is a clock generator. It operates in a loop mode. You guys can see there's a loop mode switch kind of in the middle on the left, and that will give it the ability to operate as a cyclic clock. It has a ramp generator and outputs 0 to 8 volt ramp signals corresponding to the gate duration. And you've got that little ramp output just next to that loop switch, actually. The trigger delay utilizes an AND output to delay triggers, enabling sequential event triggering. Now that's pretty handy. So you may want something to trigger in time, which is really the nuts and bolts of this module. So you want to send it something, but then time elapses, and then that's when it sends the trigger. That's what this does, amongst all the other cool things. It has start and end outputs, so you can see those. You also have CV inputs for gate duration. You have a reset input, which is labeled RST, stands for reset, forces the gate to output to 0, which gives you the ability to facilitate precise timing resets. So we're kind of been talking about this lately, guys, in the show, where you might remember we had a guy who asked about the 960 sequencer a few weeks ago, and he wanted to know, can we get it to reset? And the answer was, well, technically there is no reset in the 960 sequencer, but there is a work array around on you can do like a rudimentary way to reset it. But then you've then got the problem of, how do I then create a setup so that if I press stop somewhere on something, it's going to send the reset signal at the same time. So you've got to kind of, if you haven't got the tools to do this in one module, you got to come up with kind of crafty ways to build this in your system. And you think back in the old days when they didn't have eurorack, they had, the big modular systems. They worked out ways to do this, and they were very, very clever about how they did it. And so when you think about when they designed the 960, it actually already has a way to do it in there, but it's not the way you'd think. It's a different way, because they didn't quite have the knowledge that we have today. I borrowed some of your words there, Chris. So yeah, there's a few other bits and pieces, but the big one I think with this is that this is expandable with a few other modules that Larix do. For example, there's a module that they have called the Shift R, which adds another 8 gate outputs, and it functions as a clock divider when you connect the two together. So, like I said, it plays nicely with friends. You don't have to buy the Larix stuff either. I mean, it works with any gate type modules that you've got. Even the Behringer ones here would work. For those who want to know what it does in terms of timing, the time part, which is the most important, it goes all the way up to 3 seconds. So that time delay is actually pretty considerable. And it's as small as 40 milliseconds. So if you just want a very subtle sort of delay. All right, let's have a little squiz at. He actually did a video. I'm just impressed. I just keep getting impressed every week. People doing videos. Here we go. Let's have a look. Just before I go on with the video, I just noticed that everyone's probably going, oh, that sounds a bit crazy. This was deliberate. So what he's showing there is that you can have your extended gate length adjusted with the time knob. Then you can get it to start the envelope again with using that CV start input that you've output that you've got there. And then this end one is like a cycle reset on your envelope generator if you've got one. And then what you were hearing was the actual physical end of it chopping off the envelope where you wanted it to chop it off. And so I think if you guys think about CV and control voltage, what you could do with those things, especially with a 960 sequencer, you might actually think, this is kind of cool. Anyway, I think we have seen it. Guys, thoughts on the Time by Larix Elektro?
Good. We like things like this.
Not for me.
Yeah. I like that it is inexpensive and simple and well researched, so should I say. It's cool that he's managed to get, or they've managed to get, so much functionality from what is essentially a fairly simple circuit. He's just broken out all of the different parts of that circuit to the front panel, which is a cool thing to do. I really dig the ramp output is a novel thing I've not heard of before, so I think that's pretty cool. But yeah, no, it's got that ability to do obviously gate manipulation, which is, I'm always a fan of that. As I said, yeah, I quite like the start and end pulses from the envelope because you can chain things to other things, which is always useful. Yeah, no, it's just nicely kind of very well thought out sort of idea, very simply executed, and doesn't cost the earth. So, thumbs up from me. Yes, awesome. Don't forget too, we have one less person on the show this week, so it's kind of less comments, I guess, from us. One thing I kind of want to mention too is sometimes in control voltage we see innovation, and sometimes it's not necessarily staring at you in the face until you kind of start to think, what can I do with something like this? And then when you think about limitation as the antonym of innovation, right? You think to yourself that if you've got sequences that have limitations, these modules are going to benefit those limited sequences. And a 182, for example, is a great example of a sequencer that's very limited. Unfortunately, especially when you clock it.
Because
it loses its gate time.
Yeah. Unfortunately, this.
So would you consider this an S trig to V trig converter, basically?
No, because
the gate's basically a V trig, right?
Well, yeah. There'd be a fixed length pulse on a trig, right? So of course that's the case. Yeah.
It ignores the pulse length you give it, and produces its own. So it's a rising edge detector. It's so in terms of getting, kind of throwing away that information of it doesn't matter what kind of signal you give it, it's always going to notice the beginning, the transition, which means you can eliminate any inconvenience of the signal you're putting into it.
Yep.
Yeah, like in the 182 when you're clocking it and it's giving you a very fixed and uninteresting gate time from its output. You put it into this and then start CV controlling the gate time.
But it's just I think it's really interesting, Andy, that this has come out, and we had our show a couple of weeks ago where we were talking about that 960, where that guy wrote in and wanted to know how to reset a 960 back to the first step. This module will do it for you. This has the inputs and the outputs that will do that for you. It actually has buttons on it that you can actually force it to reset, things like that. So you can actually physically go, right, reset, bang. Or you can send it the reset CV if you want. So yeah, cool. What do we got next? Another module from, and both the same width. Oh, by the way, sorry, I should go back 1 second. Did I tell you guys the price? It's only 110 euros. So 110 euros, which I think is really, really good.
Sorry, let's go back to this. This is Instruo Dha. I don't think you probably pronounce it like that. I'm sure he will tell us how to pronounce it in a couple of seconds when I show you the video that he's made. What this is a compact, how's my English? Compact, powerful stereo mixer designed for basically if you've got tight situations where you need to fit module into a small, maybe a performance sort of rack that you've got that you're doing an EMOM for or something like that. So that's the idea with it. It features two stereo input channels. The top channel includes a built-in stereo VCA, which gives you the ability to change things like expressive amplitude modulation. And also it has precise audio tapered level controls. And the module also includes rear stereo I/O jacks. So that will give you less front panel mess. And then if you're plumbing this thing kind of like more of a permanent thing, which kind of makes sense when you think about it, you're less likely to plug and unplug a stereo I/O. You can just have that flapping around behind going into your mixer or to your recorder or whatever. I kind of like that. It was kind of cool. So that's kind of the thing there. But also you can actually connect this up to other Instruo modules like the Khan, the Cure, and also additional DHA or Dha. I don't know how you say it. But it is designed just for 2 stereo input channels, so it's not massive in terms of I/O. But let's have a little look at the video and we can be a judge, I guess, at the end of this.
Hello, I'd like to formally introduce a new module, which is one that people might have spotted already in a few more recent Instruo videos, because I've been using the prototype because it's very handy. So this is what people might have spotted, is this expanded version of the Karn utility mixer up in the top right. So this is where the module came from. I designed it as a bit of an addition because I found that I was very often patching with looper or arbor or crewing, so like a lot of voices that ended up being stereo, or especially with the DAP being able to stereo enhance a lot of voices. A lot of the times I was mixing that in a Karn going into the Cure output module as a sort of end of patch mix stage. But if it's a stereo voice, I was burning 2 channels on the Karn, panned hard left and right. So I thought it'd be nice to be able to add some stereo voices natively. So that's what this guy is. So this is the Dha, which is this experiment of an input expander to the Karn, but I found it's extremely useful, kind of self-contained, standalone, and expandable. So it's probably one of the more straightforward modules I've designed in a while. It's just a 2-channel stereo mixer. Lower channel here, it's left-right input and just a set and forget level control, and then the top channel, left-right input, and it's a stereo VCA with a built-in attenuverter. So a little bit more depth with that one. You can use it for sidechain ducking in stereo, things like that. And yeah, there's not a lot more to say about it. That's kind of the feature set. Though on the back there's a little bit of expansion, a little bit of trickery built in. So anyone that's familiar with the Karn utility mixer, these are cascadable and chainable in the back, so there's a stereo output to stereo input. The Dha has the same feature set. So the modules themselves, they actually ship with these stereo TRS cables that were produced. So I went with right angled so that when it is patched in the back, it's maybe just slightly deeper than the ribbon power cable makes it, but I've not found any cases that I've not had it fit in, so I think it's quite skiff friendly. Yeah, and it allows you to connect from the output stage on the back to the input stage of the next one, and these can just keep chaining. There we go. So I now have a dual stereo input added into this Karn. That's some at the stereo mix. Extra little trick, there is also a slide switch on the back, and that defines whether the front-facing outputs are fully normal to the back or half normal to the back. So if it's fully normaled, if you patch out from the front, you still have the stereo sum going to the next module in the chain. If it's half normaled, if you patch out of the front, it breaks that connection. So this patch has got a combination of that configured.
All right, we'll leave it at there, and you guys can go check out the rest of his 25-minute video where he goes into a lot of stuff. He does also show the stereo ducking, which is interesting. It's a little bit further on. I do think you should check that out, because having that sort of a VCA mixed in with a mixer feature that's attenuverted is actually a pretty cool feature. And there's some mixers already out there that do those sort of things as well. It is, as I said before, it is quite cool how that is expandable with the Khan mixer that he's got. So that is groovy indeed. 189 British pounds or 250 euros, and it's available now. Anyone want to make a comment on a little mixer?
That's cheap for Instruo.
Yeah.
It's,
I don't have any of their stuff. They make good stuff, but I don't have any of it. It's too expensive.
Yeah, it's
His setup looks great, actually, with the cables and the whole thing. Looks very appealing. But
yes, he does.
I just like the fact that he was mindful of not using the same drone through the whole video. He kept hitting the
He
key
kept on
change
remembering
it,
to change the key. Yeah, it was a good lesson. I was paying attention to that.
Yeah. I was disappointed that he had to manually do it.
But then that'd be cheating, wouldn't it? Yeah.
He was showing off that other module. It's another video, right? So
yeah, true.
Yeah. I'll just walk away from this patch and play it. It'll play it. Yeah. It's a good idea to always have additional stereo pairs and ability to mix them somewhere in other places. So I can totally get why he made it.
Yep.
The stereo VCAs, it's always nice to have another VCA that's without using up two kind of, nicely broken down dual VCAs, and you kind of go, oh, now I've used up those two VCAs and it's doing something I don't need to attend to. The whole cool thing about this guy is that obviously there's very little involved in the front panel for the VCA. It's just like one jack in and it's doing it. So very compact. I think this would be good for people who are just got to squeeze in some extra stuff in their EMOM sets or something like that. Yeah, I didn't think of the pumping, but that's a good point, Rance. I hadn't thought of I'll have to look at the video. I assume there's you will have to supply it with an appropriate envelope to do the ducking, but it's always a pretty easy thing to do.
Yeah, you do.
The normalizing on the back is always good. He's done, as he showed, he has several modules where he's done that before, and that seems to be his current way of patching behind the panel, which is, I always approve of that. That's a good thing. And it's it'll be in Instruo build quality, so that's all good too. So yeah, it's probably one of the more affordable ones.
So it seems like a lot of companies aren't using that ribbon, the backplane kind of connections. Like I know Deptford was doing that on some of their stuff, but
yeah, the extra.
I wonder why more companies aren't
couple
using
of wires.
that backplane ribbon.
Yeah.
Instead of having to have custom cables and stuff.
The reason for that, if I can just jump in, is because that only
noise or something, is it?
It's to do with the number of strands on the ribbon cable. So to use the gate and CV signals as dope for define them, they're actually in the part of the connector that's used in the 16-way part of the bus.
Yeah.
Whereas the little 10-way headers emit those. So many cables and so many cases only supply that 10 because they consider that to be the minimum standard for
right.
Eurorack.
Okay, that makes sense.
So that pretty much killed off that idea once they went to 10 cable ribbon cables, 10-way ribbon cables.
Yeah, I have older things that are the 16.
The older they get, the more 16s you get.
Yeah, if you get a Meleco Varigate 8 and a voltage block, they have the 16-pin connectors on them, and they communicate across. So any patch you save on one module saves it on the other. So that's kind of like multi-faceted. That sounds
kind of an elegant thing. It's a shame that they got rid of that thing. So.
Well, I don't think they got rid of it. It's still there.
But nobody uses it, though.
Nobody uses it.
Nobody's using it.
Yeah.
10-pin headers. Huh?
It's a forgotten feature.
What I think is kind of cool about it is that you only really need 2 wires to send or receive digital information down one of those cables, right? One of those wires. So, because you've already got your electrical stuff done, you could use it to send sort of digital information. We have 3 if you want to get technical, like MIDI. But you could use that dope for 16-pin setup. Yeah, it's there.
Yeah.
It's crazy
Worth
that they're not
considering.
using it. That I don't think it's a shame. I just think it's crazy. That's what I think.
It's a bit silly.
Yeah.
As I said, it's a forgotten feature.
Yeah.
And it's not a cable cost issue. What's the difference of the cable cost?
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Negligible. Yeah, it's probably a size issue in some cases, because you've got to fit that big header on a smaller module. Like if you imagine a 2 HP module, right? It's
True. But a lot of them do the vertical connection instead, so you don't have the wide.
Yeah.
You just mount it vertically. So
Obviously, a larger connector also takes up more space on the board, and these days we're trying to get ever more stuff crammed into modules and ever shallower. So there's a pressure.
Yeah.
Pushing that the other way.
Personally, I think the biggest challenge with Eurorack at the moment isn't that, Andy. I actually think the biggest challenge is power. I feel like modules are shrinking, and the power rails that we're getting given in cases are not sufficient enough for what you can potentially cram into a case now.
Yeah, my older 7U case from IntelliGel had the previous power backplane on it, so I had to order one of their other ones. You couldn't order the same number of pinouts on the new one. They only saved those for the cases proper when you ordered their power supplies. They only gave you the one with less headers, so I had to use a bunch of those splitter cables to give me more jacks again to do
Flying
that. So
bus
it's kind of
lanes,
funny. Basically, yeah.
All right, well, let's check out this next module. I think a lot of people, even who aren't into Eurorack, are going to like this one. That is a second, literally proverbial suck of the sav from Modbap. This is the Trinity, but this is 2.0. This is their digital drum synth. If you've never ever seen Trinity, and this is the first time you've seen it, you're actually going to be impressed by it just for the first time. But because this is 2.0, for those who actually have seen the Trinity before or remember it, they'll actually be impressed by the new updates. So it is a digital drum synth module. It is specifically designed only for Eurorack. But I still think once you hear about what this thing can do, and Darren would be the first to say this in his absence, I will speak for him. I feel like you could put this in a little, separate little case and use this as a standalone module in a pod type scenario, and you'll see why in a sec. It is a 20 HP module, so it's quite beefy, but when you look at it, it's quite well featured down the bottom with connectivity. You've got four sections, but you've got 3 drum synths, and then you've got your output section down the bottom, and I feel like it's laid out really intuitively, and the top section leaves us to tweak and fiddle with the settings of each of the drum synths, and I feel like it's spacious enough for us to get our big sausage fingers in there if we need to. For those of you who are lucky enough not to have those, then you'll be fine. Each drum synth is actually pretty cool. You get an update of a whole bunch of different algorithms, but they've added 2 new ones. They've added the Orb, which is a modal drum synth with multi-partial, which is a resonant and dynamic type of drum synth. You guys will hear it in a sec. And you get the Clang, and for those who love FM will love this. It's a 4-operator FM or RM drum synth with bright metallic sounds, which are great for things like hats and cymbals and things like that. This is on top of what was already in the original Trinity. So there was a whole bunch of other algorithms in there. I won't go through it. You guys can check those out yourself. But these extra features that this has got, like, for example, there is a performance-oriented CD preset select system. You can see it down the bottom where it says time/preset. You can actually select presets through a CV control. There is also a 12-pad MIDI control via the USB-C connection. And the USB-C connection is down the bottom right-hand section under the output.
Noticing too that the old Trinity used to be USB micro, and the new one is a USB-C, so that is a new enhancement. They're making a big deal about that. But the 12-pad MIDI control means that you can have an MPC with its 16 pads or 12 pads, trigger all the drum sounds on this thing. And that's kind of cool because you're bringing other things into Eurorack and integrating with it, which I think is a cool thing. There's a bunch of other stuff in here. Lots of controls, as you can see, and lots of connectivity, shape, character, sweep, grit, all that sort of stuff. Dimmable LED customization too, if you don't like the bright lights. Anyway, let's have a look at what Corey says. Corey Banks. Here we go. Where is he? He's disappeared. Boom.
This is Corey from Modbap Modular, and I'm coming to you with the latest edition and to reintroduce the latest module in the Modbap lineup, and it's called Trinity 2.0. Trinity 2.0 is a digital drum synth array, just like OG Trinity. So it still has all of the things that you know and love about Trinity, like the 3 drum channels, the routable outputs, an array of drum synth algorithms, USB MIDI, lots of controls, cycle modes, stack modes, and 24 CV inputs. But Trinity 2.0 takes it where Trinity OG left off and expands things considerably. Trinity OG had 3 presets. Trinity 2.0 has 12 presets, 4 presets per channel. You can save those presets as a kit. You have the ability to save 3 kits. So this takes the performability to another level. In addition to the preset capability, we've also added CV preset select. So you can throw CV into an input and scroll through the presets for that channel. In addition to the presets, we've added 12-pad MIDI finger drumming mode. This allows you to take a pad controller, connect through USB-C on the Trinity 2.0, and spread your presets across 12 pads with 12 keys via MIDI over USB-C. Oh, did I mention that it has USB-C? Right, it used to have USB micro. Now it has USB-C. And probably the most exciting thing about Trinity 2.0 is that we've added 2 new drum synth algorithms. They are Orb. Orb is a modal drum synth that allows you to get some really interesting and lively, resonant, tonal and percussive type of sounds. The next one is called Clang. Clang is a 4-op FM RM drum synth. This allows you to get really good metallic sounds. It excels at hi-hats, cymbals, and way beyond that. But the intention was to develop a great metallic sound so you can get clean hi-hats to complement the grit of the arcade hi-hats. Let's check it out.
This fits.
going to leave it there because I want you guys to go check the rest of the video out, as I do with most videos, because, it's kind of mean if I, play the whole video and you just be lazy and sit here and watch it. It's supposed to make you go and explore these products, and there's still a little bit for you to discover. I think this is really cool. It's a little. I liked how in the video he showed it in in actually one of their own pods that you can actually buy from their web shop. I think, and Corey will correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think they're going to be at Super Booth. So if you are at Super Booth, you can check it out. If not, then I do apologise, but I was under the impression he is. Thoughts, guys? $599.99 is the cost for the Trinity 2.0.
Just going to do the maths in my head. Sorry, how much was that?
I was going to say
$600.
600. Okay.
Yeah, but how much is it going to be within the export?
With tariffs.
Sort of
Yeah, who knows?
Tariffs.
Depends if it's made in China.
Kicking $1,000 here in Australia.
I suppose it depends where it's coming from. If it's coming from America, sorry,
is it a module?
Sorry,
is it a module? Is it a drum machine? Is it a module? Is it a drum machine? I can't decide.
Is it a bird?
That's kind of cool.
Is it a plane?
I kind of like that. Yeah, I kind of like that multi-dimensional approach, because that is kind of one of the things about. I mean, it's even with some of the drum synthesis stuff I'm setting up. It's definitely a case. You need some kind of pads to tap to test the sounds, to sculpt the sounds, to design the sounds. It's not the same as putting it in a pattern and then sculpting it. You get a different kind of. They're two different disciplines. I don't think one's better than the other, but they're definitely different. And if you're kind of getting a rut with your drum sounds, changing the way you're entering them is always a great way of refreshing your thinking, and allows you to kind of create different ideas. Yeah, well, we've got a choice of quite a few digital drum synthesis things out there now. So we got, for example, I'm thinking of the Psy drums from Sonicware. There are quite a few individual modules that are digital based, but they're very much sort of single voice orientated. But in terms of multi instrument, there's not much multi-instrument digital ones in modular. This is kind of pretty much the pinnacle from what I've seen around. And there's nothing like taking an idea and making it a little bit better. It's always a good idea. So hats off for them to perfect something rather than to move on. Because, it's tempting always to move on to the next greatest thing. They could have put out a massive granular synth because everyone's doing it, right? But no, he's sat down and gone, no, we can make this instrument better. Why not we do that? Yeah. So that's cool.
Yeah. Before we go to you, Ian, just one quick comment to Chris, actually. When I saw this, I actually thought of you only purely because I thought the marriage of this and maybe the Behringer RS9 module might actually be a cool little sort of togetherness thing.
Absolutely. The RS9 is really good for a lot of different setups. That's one of the reasons why I got it, because it is nicely broken out and, it's got so many outputs as well. It's really handy. Yeah, and that extra channel for accent we can put into any of those little parameters.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's on my radar, definitely. It's kind of a case of, it kind of overlaps my ideas about, it depends on where I go getting my own drum sampler project going or not, because that's a project I kind of got on the back burner. So, yeah, a couple of months' time I'll be probably looking at this again and seeing where I'm at and where we are with this, because I do dig it. I think it could be quite nice in my setup.
Yeah, so I've just been busy trying to get the RS9 graphic in there, just not for you, Chris, because I know what you know what it looks like, but just for other people, just to pick his brains, but to show other people visually what we're talking about. Let me just quickly, oh God, why does it want to put it in here? Hang on a sec, my computer's just giving me dramas. Of course it is. Of course
it's a WebP.
It's a WebP. Yeah,
it's a WebP.
You need to get. You're going to start screen capturing.
I'm just going to send them another email about it. Anyway, let me just bring this up. This is just for everyone. Oh,
You're in the way now, aren't you? All right. This is the RS9 that we're talking about. Okay, so this is actually a eurorack module made by Behringer. It's based on their RD9 drum machine. It doesn't actually have any audio in it. It's literally just a sequencer. But Chris, question for you.
Yep.
The MIDI on this, do those buttons transmit MIDI?
Well, the buttons, which ones?
On the right-hand side, the array
on the
of
right-hand
buttons.
side, no, they're only ever used for steps.
Okay.
You can't use it like a finger drummer. They're very, very stiff buttons. So they're not for banging, they're for pressing with
Selecting
purpose.
things. Right, okay.
Yeah, changes.
buttons?
Yeah, you'll see there's a trigger button sort of 3/4 of the way in down the bottom, above the step repeat and the note repeat. That is actually your trigger. You actually have to select which channel you want to trigger, and then you hit that button, and that's your triggering. So it's not very good in that sense. It's fine for working out what's going where and what sound is what, and making a few tweaks to the sound to get it just right, or just playing around with fills, and because it has note repeat as well and all that kind of stuff. So the trigger button then can be used to do fills and stuff like that. But it is definitely only one track at a time. You have that control over it. Yep. So that is one thing that is lacking, is a breakout to a set of pads, MPC style. So you could it's interesting. This doesn't really solve that problem because the module will see the pads, but the RS9 won't. Unless the RS9's MIDI specs. I may have to do some research and see whether it can go into the RS9 and then back out to this thing.
Yeah.
I think the Trinity is cool. It just doesn't do anything that I don't already have. So it would be redundant for some stuff I already have. So.
Yep.
It's quite pricey, isn't it? 600.
600. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Modbap stuff.
In the chat, James just said that I know it's not. We're not talking modular. We're talking other stuff. But the Microbrute 2 would have the same sort of sounds as this. I've got all sorts of things that will get those sounds if I wanted it. But I get that you guys into modular will want something like this.
The Korg. Of course, it's analog. The LXR is another one. I think that's digital.
Yeah, but we're getting out of modular.
Yeah.
So it's a different ecosystem. But the one I feel maybe that might kind of sit in with this as a competitor is the Perkins, which is an Erica synth thing.
Somebody else said that. Yeah.
That is quite large, a lot larger though. For the same number.
The Eurorack drum voice version. So not the actual desktop module one.
Right.
Yeah, it's still bigger though. Pretty sure.
Well, you'd need 3 of them to beat this, because this is 3 drum voices.
Well, that's the individual Perkins voice.
Biscuit's asking. This is digital, isn't it?
Yeah, digital.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, if you look at Modular Grid, there are a stack of competitors in this realm, right? I mean, technically, loosely, you could even argue that the 1010 or 1010 beatbox module would compete with this, but I feel like it would lack very much on the sound design side of it. But there are some
sample triggers.
But there are some sound designy things in there that some of the algorithms that they've produced allow you to do, but it's a bit menu divey. So probably not.
And you can
necessarily.
play Doom on it.
But in terms of, if you look at Modular Grid, like I said before, there's a lot of drum. So, I mean, all you have to do is just search drum in Modular Grid, and you'll see that there's 759 drum modules.
You may want to separate them into analog versus digital.
Yeah,
that's probably a good start. But
who mentioned the LXR? Because there is an LXR
the LXR module.
Yeah, but that is probably similar sort of price, I think, if I remember right.
Yeah, I think they're similar, pretty competitively. Competing against each other.
But what kills it is that the LXR has 6 drum voices. This only has 3. But then you might argue that the sound design capabilities are different. I don't know. I reckon no matter how you cook it, you could find something that would beat it and something that wouldn't.
when you put in that preset changing dimension, for example.
Yeah.
So if you've got 3 different drum sounds, just change the drum sound on each hit. Then you got how many? 3 plus 3 plus 3. It's 9 drum sounds in one pattern.
Like an affix mode, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it is. But that's just another way of looking at it.
Yeah. As long as you're, I'm not sure how it would handle it software-wise in there, but as long as it's not cutting off the voices as you change them.
Do they overlap, or does one drum voice cut off the envelope of another?
Yep.
Yeah, it's a good question.
Yeah.
Find out
But I do wish Corey well, because he's one of the guys. We all know him, and his venture with Modbap has been, I think, a pretty cool one. So he's got some decent modules out now. Go check it out if you're at Super Booth. If he's not there, then I owe you a beer, but I'm pretty sure he said he was. Now, the next one is going to be interesting. So be prepared for something a bit weird. Because I always bring you weird stuff.
I'm liking it already.
Here it is. The Vulcans hammer. It's not a guitar pedal. It looks like one, but it's not a guitar
Looks
pedal.
like a guitar pedal.
Why don't I just show you the video? Why not? I think it's probably easier if I just show you. The video is so entertaining, it's not funny. Here we go.
Hello, everyone. Joe from Electrofaustus here. Greetings from lovely Patchogue, Long Island. Today, I'm very proud to announce our newest device, the EF118 Vulcan's Hammer, named after the Roman god of fire. This device is an accelerometer-controlled oscillator. It works by reading the position along a 180-degree axis and translating it to a frequency. In the fully back position, the oscillator is at its lowest note, roughly around 100 hertz, give or take, which is D3 on the musical scale. As you rotate the hammer forward, like this, the pitch increases. In this position, the frequency is roughly 2000 hertz, or B6 on the musical scale. So that's about a 4-octave range. The controls are pretty straightforward. You have an LED lit on-off button here, and you have a volume knob here. On the bottom of the handle, you have a standard 1/4-inch audio jack, guitar cable. The unit is powered by 3 AAA batteries, which are inside the enclosure here. They come with the device when you purchase it. They can be changed, swapped out, simply by unscrewing the bottom of the enclosure here.
Clean.
Vulcan's hammer goes on sale today for $200 retail. And as you can also see from the shirt I'm wearing, we also have some merch to go along with it. Here's what it sounds like. First, I'll give you just a raw signal, and then I'll add a little
glasses with
reverb.
it?
Yeah, I want the glasses. Oh, brilliant.
Oh.
Wow.
I really hope you guys enjoy that, because I did watch it during the week.
Absolutely.
$200. I think you guys could have a stack of fun with this thing.
I'm looking forward to when they bring out the anvil that you hit with it.
Yeah.
Can you just imagine on stage,
Anvil. Yes.
on stage, this threatening-looking musical device?
Exactly.
And you have a shield that you rotate this way, right?
Yeah. Oh, dear.
So who wants one? $200. and you can buy a T-shirt as well. And someone said buy the glasses. Yeah,
I'm going to say if he throws in the glasses of the T-shirt, then yeah, maybe.
Well, I wish him well. It's Electrofaustus is the company. Electrofaustus, Faustus, and it's this has been around for a couple of months, by the way. So for those who haven't been paying attention, you probably noticed that maybe some people have already bought one of these, and probably they might be in the wild already. But I thought I'd pick this up and show you guys because it slipped through my my listings about 2 months ago, and I didn't get a chance to show it, and then it's come back around, and I've just thought, look, this is cool. This is cool. Yeah, I like the name.
My only suggestion would be to add a rotary
Vulcans.
switch that lets you change algorithms or patterns or whatever, just a little more variety.
Yeah.
Look, this is the thing, Andy. You get here, you get proof of concept, right? And then what it does is it just shows, okay, well, where can we go with something like this next? I mean, a lot of people will be saying theremin, right? But when you think about it, it probably is very similar to the way a theremin works, but not really, because he explained that it's an accelerometer. You're kind
it's like
of
a D-beam.
Yeah, it's like you're controlling the movement, within your own sort of body, as opposed to a theremin. You're interacting with the modulation frequencies that are coming out from those antennas. It's almost the opposite in a way, isn't it?
Theremin also has its other issues too, with interference and other devices nearby and too many bodies, and so theremin's more complicated. Yeah.
I mean, it's not a theremin, so the good thing about it. Anyway, who's going to buy one?
Well,
I
Andy's
think I'll
got
save me money. I love it.
Andy's got the Seek track now, so doesn't that have an accelerometer in it?
It does.
No.
Seek track?
Does it?
Yeah, it does.
It
So
does
if you-
have
I don't
an
think it
X.
does.
Yeah.
It does, yeah.
So you can
haven't seen
gaffer
that yet.
tape something a handle to
I
that.
think it does.
and
I
then swing it around.
haven't delved into it enough yet, but I'm
Well, the
pretty sure it
OPZ's got one too, right? The OPZ's got
The
an
OPZ
accelerometer.
does,
Yeah. So you could have
Yeah.
OPZ and
on the end of the stick. Yeah, sounds great.
and the hammer.
Yeah.
Vulcan's hammer.
Exactly. You could do
Wearing the
two-handed.
glasses.
Polyphony.
I want the glasses. Glasses and the T-shirt. Sucker for a
I'm having
T-shirt.
fun.
You could also add a photocell to it, so as it gets closer to things and light changes, it can
Yeah.
All right. Next, we have our good buddy from Error Instruments back with another. Well, this is kind of like a cut down version of another module that he's made before. So you would have heard his other module, which we saw a little while ago, called the Liquid Glitcher. This is called the Liquid Voice, which is an 8 HP 2 oscillator drum out type module. And if I show you the video, you guys can see.
Showing on Super Booth 20.
Whoa. Why did that just do that? We can show the video, not there, but there. Here we
5
go.
Liquid Voice eurorack. We make a small liquid glitcher, many requests. What's new size is the half affordable price. There are no modulations, just sounds, 2 different oscillators out and 1 drum out. Crunchy and crazy, but lovely and deep texture sounds. Check it out.
That's it. That's basically the video, and it actually literally just repeats that for the next 2 minutes
Again
and
and
22
again.
seconds. It's quite an interesting video.
Yes.
What I'll say about it is,
Propaganda.
look, if you want to know a bit more about it, it's an experimental Eurorack module from Error Instruments. Like all their stuff, it's very experimental and kind of noisy and glitchy, and that's just really what their profile is. It's designed to be liquid and frequency and modulated and kind of that sort of analog digital hybrid sort of sound. It's inspired by the sound of water and natural modulation, and it creates dynamic textures and organic tones suited for ambient glitches, noises, and compositions. Now, they do say in this video, if you do want to check out how the Liquid Glitcher sounds, go check out that video on that bigger module there, because it's basically exactly the same, just doesn't have the modulation controls. But the fact is, if you want just the sounds and you want to be able to just play those, this is the module for you. I can tell you the differences between the two. Obviously, one's only 8 HP. It's a more compact size. It's only just the oscillator voice. It only gives you wave out, sub out, and drum out.
and there's no modulation or clock utilities in it. It's ideal just to make the sounds, but because of that, it's actually pretty affordable. It is only €250, which I think is pretty decent. So, does anyone want me to sort of show a demo of the Liquid Glitcher? I mean, I could, if they want to be reminded how it sounds.
Yeah, I can't remember what it sounds like. I wouldn't mind.
Okay.
If you can.
All right. Well, he's got a Liquid Voice demo video here. How about we grab one of those?
Sounds like
demo, Liquid Voice demo. Drums, voice. Let's do his intro. It's a 5-minute video, but let's do that.
Watch what eggs do to your brain.
What the hell?
Are you trolling your own show?
No, I haven't logged into YouTube and it's played an ad. That's what happened.
Ugh.
Give me a sec. Oh, now it wants to know who I am. Here we go. Right. I haven't actually watched this video, so this may be a complete train wreck. Anyway, let's try it. So the Liquid Voice is on the right.
This is Error Instruments, and we have something new. This thing over here. Yes, a small edition of the Liquid Glitcher. We got here the big edition of the Liquid Glitcher, and we put it next to the new one, the small. It's called Liquid Voice. It's the voice of the Liquid Glitcher. And what's in the name? Liquid Glitcher is one of our best models. If you like.
Let's skip past it.
Also, it's
Come on, where's the sounds?
Voice. So we have a wave output like the original, and we have a sub output, and they are also connected. And there's one drum output over here. We can make drum sounds if you put a trigger in there. It's a low pass gate, and then control voltage on every knob to tweak. Let's start with the wave. And let's go to the sub.
Sounds like it's filtered, right?
And let's go to the drum.
And needs to put a trigger in this.
And the drum needs a trigger. Oh, sorry.
There we go.
Here we go.
I reckon the drum trigger is actually pretty cool.
Yeah, I like the drum trigger.
You could do that as just as a module on its own. It'd be even skinnier.
It's got kind of a nice punch to it.
Just putting CV into it.
Yeah.
Anyway, there you go.
It's a good idea then, because I don't think I would have been particularly interested in the larger one, but smaller HB one's a bit more intriguing.
You can't really design the sounds though as much.
Oh no, it's definitely
on
you
that.
definitely have to sample them or
Yeah.
something, or just record them, track them, and then they're gone.
Also, was he miking the room as usual? A lot of those guys mic the room, and it's like to have a
I
real
wondered-
output. Otherwise, it's really hard to tell.
Yeah, I
what's
know.
going on,
The reason why he does it because I don't think he likes having a mic on him, and so he says he just goes.
No, I believe. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Or it's just easier to do it that way. But it's
self-conscious about it. I think.
You don't really get a proper demo of the audio with that.
I think Paul's from Amsterdam, isn't he? I think he's. You told me he was from Amsterdam, in the Netherlands, if I remember rightly.
I think so because I bought stuff from them in the old days when they're doing the little spring.
Yeah.
Modules and stuff where you pluck a spring and it.
Yeah, I remember those. Yeah.
It's a CV. Yeah.
He's been doing stuff for years. All of his stuff has been just really experimental, and what I like about it is, I mean, your traditional musicians probably won't like it so much, but I think like if you wanted to set up a case, say you had an Arturia, rack brute 6U or something like that, you could set up just such a really interesting experimental sound design thing, and a lot of his modules would appear in it, I feel, and some others. I'm not going to just discount others as well, but I feel like you could do that sort of experimental stuff, and then, you know, like you said, guys, you said you could sample it, and then once you've sampled it, you know, move on to your next, and then you've got this array of really interesting samples. You sell sample packs. You know, some people make money out of selling sample packs as well. But for me, Error Instruments is definitely the way to go if you want that sort of crazy experimental stuff. Yeah, they're good at it. I love that drum voice. That's really cool. It's had a bit of that compressor sort of feel about it too, which I liked when you started mucking around with that compressor knob. Yeah. I mean, Ian, imagine if he got sort of clever and collaborated with someone and made a desktop module with some of his inventions in it. You know, you'd probably jump at it, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would.
Yep.
Definitely.
Okay, should we branch out of Eurorack for a bit? I love doing Eurorack, by the way, if you haven't noticed. Bad luck if you
really? That's perfectly all right.
But before we do branch out, can I just say we should stop the poll.
Go on.
Let's stop the poll.
Oh, yeah.
Stop the poll.
And let's spew the poll results out. And the winner for the meme of the week is the Behringer. Only pipped it by 1 point. The quantizing one was the second one.
Hey, that's my fault, because I voted for the wrong thing. I meant to vote for the Arturia, and I voted for Behringer by mistake.
Well, there you go. I can't forget to do the poll. And also, while we're at it, actually, let's go back to the chatties. While we're at it, because I like showing chatties like this. Why don't we give the second clue? Give the second clue? For the synth quiz, there's your second clue, guys. Dual 5-pin MIDI. That's your second clue. MIDI. Dual 5-pin MIDI. So yeah, there you go. Right, now, next cab off the rank is, of course, Arturia's V Collection 11.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen the video, but we can show 20 seconds of Arturia. Why don't we show that just to keep them happy?
Why not? I like the cards. The cards look good. I've got the synth meme cards.
Especially the holographic like that.
Yeah.
Spared no expense here.
What do you reckon you're going to sell them?
One thing I will say is, I mentioned before that I went into a music shop and they had the Poly Brute 12 there, and I was having a little play with it. And I mean, it's a lot of money for me. It's like a mortgage payment. You know, it's nasty. Maybe a couple of mortgage payments actually. I'm thinking about it. And
don't worry, it's a lot of money for everybody, pretty much. So yeah. I'm not going to be getting one.
But geez, I mean. It just really, really impressed me. Probably the only thing I could say about it was that the keyboard was a little bit of a letdown on it. I thought if you're going to go with such a beautiful synth, but having said that, I played with some Oberheims, some sequential synths while I was there, and I thought the same thing about their keybeds as well. So don't think it's like a complete slap, because I feel like when you're spending in Australia, we spend a lot more money than you guys over your parts of the world because our dollar is so weak. So when it gets here, they convert it into Australian dollars. It's like, you know, the cost of a small Ferrari to buy a synth over here. So it kind of just, you really just kind of think to yourself, what am I getting for my mileage here, for my money? And I would love it if, you know, somehow something magic happened and the Australian dollar was better. We could actually afford some stuff here. But geez, I was salivating over that synth. I tell you what, it was really cool. Yeah, it was beautiful. I was telling my son when I was there, the reason why I was in the shop, by the way, is he bought a guitar. And
nice.
And for
acoustic
that,
or electric?
Electric, and that's his first. Cool. So he wants to get involved in that. He's always been interested in what I do here, but never really been interested in music instruments. And this is my oldest son, by the way, not my youngest. My youngest is full on into piano and violin and all that sort of stuff. So yeah.
and I said, look, while we're here, put the guitar on the boot after he bought it. Let's go and have a look at the synths. And we were mucking around. And I've spent the most amount of time on that Polybrute 12. It was amazing.
It's great. I played it last year, when it came out.
There was a Moog Muse there. And I'd have to say that was definitely piquing my eyes for a close second. And as I mentioned earlier, there was a stack of Behringer stuff. A stack. Like, really, like, so much stuff there. But you guys will laugh your head off. They had the Behringer OBX sitting there. And guess what was wrong with it already? Brand new Behringer OBX. Guess what was wrong with it?
Display.
There was a key that had gone, like, there's your keyboard. There's a key.
I told you that wasn't just the test one.
There's a key like that.
Those damn keys.
Brand new. What? Like, honestly, just pull that thing off the shop floor. No one is going to buy that. Like, a musician's going to walk in and go, come on, guys, we knew these guys are going to make crap. You know, there it is. Look at that. It's even in the shop and it's still broken already. It's probably just the customer's probably just gone, blah, 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 and the key's just gone, it's like, it's only lasted 5 seconds. It looks impressive. That synth looks impressive, but geez, like, can't a keyboard last 5 seconds? Look at Ian, got his hands on his head. Ian's about to throw his Behringer at the screen. That's what he's about to do.
Exactly.
No, I'm not. I don't have any Behringer keyboards. All the Behringers I've got are just modules. You know,
same.
Model D and stuff.
Yeah,
I haven't got that many.
The VC thing.
I do have a problem with this V Collection. Is it's really expensive.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I've got 9, and my upgrade. I've just checked it now. My upgrade is €299.
Now, can I ask you guys? Is this Australian dollars? Because I was trying to work out whether this is Australian dollars or US dollars, but I logged in. It said $6.99 is the recommended retail price for the Pro, $1.99 for the Intro, and $2.99 for me to upgrade. So that's euros. No, I said it had a dollar symbol, not a euro symbol. It had a dollar symbol.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be American dollars or euros. It says the same here. It says so. My upgrade price is €299 / dollar.
Okay.
So it'll be American dollars. The regular price is $6.99, which
so that makes it more expensive for me.
It will be. It'll be double, won't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I bought it. I bought 9 at $200. I think €200.
$468.
Wasn't that expensive
to upgrade?
That's your upgrade price.
That's the upgrade price.
Pass.
$6.99 US dollars to Australian.
For me.
$1,094 for the Pro if you're buying it outright.
If the upgrade price was €100 / dollars, then I would probably go for it because I skipped the last one. I'll be honest with you, I haven't used it a lot. I'm glad I've got all those synths there if I want them and I'm working on a project, but I haven't used it a lot. I do want to really get my head around the Buchla. I'm going to sort of do a Buchla course at some point to try and get my head around it because I've got access to an online course thing.
It's a gateway to modular.
Go on, Chris. So don't say that. Don't say that. I don't believe
that is really modular. That's more modular than most modulars.
I know it is.
Actually,
that's modular. Yeah. I'm just sort of. I am slightly disappointed with the price, really, because otherwise, if it was €100, I would have probably done it. I mean, there may be a deal at some point, like a Black Friday thing. I might wait till then and see what it is.
Well, there is kind of a deal that you can get now. From what I read, is if you get the $199 version, you can choose. You can choose just the 10 titles. Whereas the Pro gives you everything.
That's no good if you've already got. That's no good if you've already got 9, though. You know?
Yes, the problem.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's time that they started offering a subscription model when you start getting into these prices. Well, it is because you know.
Yeah, I was thinking kind of Roland Cloud was the only thing they were kind of competing against them.
There's a new sort. I stumbled across a new subscription model this week, and it was I'm not that I was going to buy it, but it was like an AI voice thing, and I think it was something like €29 a month for 2 years, and then you've got the license permanently. So
rent to
and
buy.
actually, I thought that wasn't it's rent to like a rent to buy thing, yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought that didn't seem like quite. I mean, nobody really likes a subscription model, but to know that you've got the license at the end of 2 years.
Roland have kind of got something similar with their lifetime thing, which they flick out every now and then. Yeah, so if you do the Roland Cloud and you're on the ultimate plan, and I think you do it for 12 months, they've done it for the last few years anyway. You get a free 1 or 2
synths, don't you?
Synths, and I've got something like 7 now, and basically I've got to the point now where I don't actually have a Roland Cloud membership at all.
Got the perpetuals.
As long as I keep updating the software, it will work. So I was on Kent's stream the other day using the XV 1080 Roland Cloud. So glad I got that for free as a lifetime thing, because that's literally got a whole stack of JV voices in it, and you can edit the partials and all that sort of stuff in it. So that to me was worth probably about $500-600, because that's how much they are to buy as a hardware, right?
Yeah.
I'm just want to go back to the Arturia thing for a sec. I'm probably going to be a little bit different to you guys. I love Arturia V Collection. Okay, so I've got, I can't remember the version, I've got 8 or 9 or something. So I'm a little bit behind, and it's only a bit of money thing for me. So it's not because I don't want it, it's because I can't afford it at times. And software tends to take a bit of a back step because I have more priority over hardware. But I will say that I think this is actually a pretty decent version, because I was looking at upgrading my V Collection to 10 only about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I'm so glad I didn't. I'm sure that would have helped me out. But you get Jupiter 8000 V. Now, I don't know if you guys have been watching those videos, but it's a pretty impressive emulation of the Jupiter 8000 V or the JP 8000. The pure lo-fi looks really cool, and I feel like it's meeting a market there. So I really thought they've done a really good job of that. These guys are brilliant software engineers, though. So you have to
absolutely are. Yeah.
There's another Elka Synthex here. I'm just wondering how good this one is. There's a few now that are out. So I didn't really get much of a chance to check that one out, but I wouldn't mind checking out the demo of that. And the one that really interested me the most was they finally actually brought a software version of their own analog synth out, and that's the Mini Brute V. And I think if you guys watched that other video that they did, the longer one, I was really impressed of how that sounded. I mean, it was probably drowning in a few effects and stuff, but it really did sound like a Mini Brute to me, and it had that metallic sort of crossfading oscillator that you with the Steiner Parker filter in it. It kind of really did sound like it, and I was actually really impressed. And there's also the SEM in there as well. But the other thing that some people will really like is the augmented instruments, the physical modeling stuff that they've brought in.
Some of them.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's a lot of work that goes into that stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah.
When you're looking at, I mean, in my opinion, $300 US, when you think about all of that, plus I get to upgrade and all the stuff that is between my version, which is a few versions ago, and now there's actually other synths that I also pick up in that as well. $300 US is pretty cheap. It's pretty cheap. Like, I forget how many synths there are in total. Someone saw it on the video, like, that wall. Where is it? Sorry, you guys can't see that there. That's just a little taste of all what you get. And there's also sample libraries and patch libraries as well that you can access if you get the Pro.
Yeah, because I bought something recently from them. I can't remember what I bought now, because I'd have to look at my products to. Can't tell where it says what I've got. There we are, my products. And I bought a load of. It was pigments. There was a deal on pigments, and I bought pigments.
I remember you getting pigments.
Yeah, and I bought
that's amazing.
The extra. It's. I mean, I've only just touched the surface of it. It is brilliant.
Yeah,
absolutely brilliant, and I will use it.
Let's have a little look at the website for the V Collection, just in case people are watching this and thinking I haven't really shown much of it.
So these are all the different pricing options that you can see here. I haven't logged into Arturia, so you're not seeing my upgrade details here. So this is what you would see if you're a general public and you've never ever used them before. But you can click on this button here and log in if you've already got Arturia V Collection previous version there. For me, it's $2.99. So I'm not sure. You can click on here and compare the versions. But let's just have a quick look here. So there was something else that we forgot to talk about. So they're saying there's 45 instruments, right?
Synthex V, isn't there?
Synthex V.
Yeah.
Sem V, which I mentioned.
Augmented Yahtzee.
Here's the new ones. Here we go. Yahtzee is the augmented one, yeah. So it's a acoustic, like a Chinese type, those sort of stringed instruments. I can't think what you call it now.
It's like almost like a guzheng kind of thing.
Yeah, this one I like this one personally. I'm a big fan of mallets, especially because you can get kind of nice sort of percussive. As a kid, I used to play the vibraphone and things like that when I was a kid.
Probably did it. I did percussion in high school. I was terrible at anything with keys.
Yeah. That pure, like I'm telling you now, that pure lo-fi,
so to speak,
that looks like a stack of fun. Like seriously, a stack of fun. I think they've done an amazing job with that, and I feel like there's some hidden awesome gems in there. And when you think about it, like from your hardware gear, when you've got software that can do what this can do, you don't need some hardware. You really just don't need it. Honestly, it's so good. And they've got updates as well to all these augmented stuff, which they don't really talk about a lot. But yeah, there's a list of all the instruments here. So you've got the SEM, the Synthex, the Mini Brute, an Acid, an ARP 2600, a Buchla, a CS80, a Jupiter 8, a Juno, a Korg MS20, a Matrix 12, a Mini, which is the Moog, a Modular, which is the Moog, OPXA, a Prophet 5, a Synthy, a vocoder, which I absolutely love, by the way. That vocoder is awesome. And then you've got a whole bunch of digital synths, the Jupiter 8000, the CMI, which is amazing. It's the Fairlight, the Casio CZ, the DX7, which is awesome. The Emulator 2, which is another brilliant redo of that. The Mini Freak, which is cool because you don't need to buy a Mini Freak. And the SQ80, which is really cool. I haven't actually used the SQ80, and I believe people have been screaming about how good that is in a previous update. Synclavier is cool. And then you've got things like keyboards and organs, Mellotrons, Salinas, clavinets, CPZ. Yeah,
because the Farfisa organ is pretty accurate, actually, because I used to own a compact duo, and when I played it, I thought, this sounds really quite close, because it's quite a dirty sound. Is a Farfisa V, and it's really good.
It hasn't just been it hasn't been just vintage keyboards for quite some time now.
Yeah, there's 45. So I don't know. I think Robbie might have actually done it for us already in chat, but $2.99 divided by 45.
We did it. It was £11 something, I think.
$6.64 US.
Oh, right.
If you had the upgrade, $6.64 US per instrument.
Wookie says his upgrade was only €99, that's a great price.
Maybe he had the 10 already. Did you have the 10?
From 10. Because I was talking to Pete yesterday, and his upgrade from 10 was $199, I think.
Well, when I was looking at the upgrade to 10 about 3 or 4 weeks ago, it was $299. So I'm glad I didn't, because then I'd be up for another $99. Maybe I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. I mean, that's not bad, is it, Chris? When you think about it, $6 per instrument.
I just checked mine as well. It's the same.
Oh yeah. Biscuit's saying that he's got 10 and they're asking for $199.
Yeah.
So yours is $299, Chris?
Yeah, $299. Mm-hmm. So it must be like once you get to 2 or more versions, it sticks at $299.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
X is 10. So Jim's got X.
Yeah.
Right, and I've got 8, I think. Yeah, 8. Yep.
So
Cool, there you go.
So anything.
So yours must be a better
765
upgrade than
to
mine then, because going from 8 to 11 is better than going from 9 in your case, because they did quite a few upgrades from 8 to 9, didn't they?
In
Some
9 and
better-
10, there was a massive amount of instruments added in both of those upgrades.
Yeah.
So I'm literally picking up probably, I don't know.
It's a
15
definitely a
instruments.
better upgrade for you. Yeah, yeah. So I'm looking for a Black Friday deal, or it might be 12 for me.
Yeah, I mean, you can wait to November. It's a long way between now and November.
Yeah,
it depends on how urgently you want one of these instruments, I guess.
I don't need them at the moment.
There you go.
What will happen is I'll work on a project and I'll want to use one.
All right. Well, let's move on to the last bit of news, which we squeezed in right at the last pip to post, and that's the news about Reverb. Have actually someone has sold and also someone has bought. Exactly what it says on that logo there. They've actually sold themselves and someone bought them. Over to you, Ian. You seem to know a little bit more about this.
Yeah,
I'm going to screen you on this one.
I did a little bit of research, and it's only when I say a little bit of research, it was really I looked at Music Radar, but I have looked at the actual companies as well. So they've been bought, or they're going through the process of being bought by 2 investment companies. Could say boo hiss, couldn't we, for that? One is Creator Partners. Now, Creator Partners have quite a large portfolio. Vimeo is one of them. SoundCloud, Fender, then a load Indemnify, and a load of other sort of companies that I've never heard of. Okay, the other company are based, I think, in Honolulu, and they are Cervico. So these are the people that are going through the process of buying Reverb. I don't know whether it's a good or a bad thing, if I'm honest. Because it changed when it was bought by Etsy. Reverb did change quite considerably because the prices went up, the fees went up. We noticed that we've been a Reverb seller for a long time, and our sales dropped, and it's never really recovered. We probably do 1 or 2 sales a month if we're lucky. I've done 1 this month so far, so it's not a big platform for us really. I've bought more from Reverb than anything else really, so I'm not that sure whether I'm not sure that investment companies are doing the right thing anyway. What it said in this article on Music Radar was that Fender will not get preferential treatment over anybody else. So they're basically saying that Reverb will be more independent than it was while Etsy had it. Let's see how that goes. So I'm not really that happy about this, if I'm honest. I mean, I'll still continue to have a Reverb account. The journalist who did the article, it's quite a good article. It's worth reading. He's Matt Mullen at Gear Radar. But so what's your thoughts?
I still prefer Reverb to eBay. I mean, they're really good for lots of stuff. So,
well, eBay's having a lot in the UK. eBay's having a lot of problems. We've seen eBay sales drop dramatically. That could be just they've been doing some weird things of eBay, like they've been focusing on private sellers rather than business sellers. We're a business seller with a business shop.
Indian company owns eBay now, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Really?
So we've seen a drop. We've seen a real drop off in sales over the last 3 months, and a lot of people have. I would prefer to buy from Reverb. I'll be honest with you. Fees are cheaper, still a lot less than eBay. And you have actually, having said that, I was going to say you've got more protection. I don't think you have. We've had a couple of scams through Reverb. People trying to buy my 700, and then I've had 3. They're not wanted to use the Reverb payment system,
Yeah.
And I reported it each time it happened. I reported it to Reverb, and nothing happened.
Can I mention one thing? There is a competitor here that we probably should say, hey, what about these guys? And we actually know him. Brad Holland's company, Isla Instruments, have started off the Gear Trader website, geartrader.com.
Okay.
So do check them out. One of the things I don't like about Reverb is that they force you to use PayPal. I've got nothing against PayPal.
Yeah.
I think PayPal is an eBay company, isn't it?
It was. It's not anymore. It was.
Yeah, it's a separate thing.
Oh, okay. But anyway, it doesn't really matter. That's not the point. The track I want to go down to. The point I'm trying to make is when you look at the fees. Okay, so the fees are you've got fees for selling, and you've got another fee, which I forget. There's minimum of 2 fees, and if you've bumped something, there's your third fee. Because you basically paid for technically advertising, which I think is a bit of a stretch. Yeah. But anyway, so there's technically 3 fees. But then because you're forced to use PayPal, there's another fee in PayPal for them transacting your money. So, and like any banking type organization, that's how they make their money. I don't have a problem with it, but PayPal's fees are very exuberant for what you get. They are really over the top. And when you think about how much it actually really costs you, fees-wise, with PayPal included in that, it's steep, and it's getting very close to what eBay charge. So Gear Trader, they use Square Pay. So when you buy stuff, you sign up through Square, and was it Square? No, Stripe. Sorry, Stripe.
Stripe. I've got a Stripe account. Stripe's good, actually. Stripe's
and the
right.
fees
not
fees aren't too bad. And so when you actually do your transaction through Gear Trader, it does it through Stripe. They charge a little fee. Gear Trader make a little fee. He's upfront about what all the fees are, so there's nothing kind of gooky about it. And on top of that, he's also got a Gear Trader postage option. So one of the things that sucks about Reverb is because of the way the postage system is so deregulated in the world, if I put a listing up and it stays up on Reverb for 12 months, because let's face it, not everyone's buying friggin' Korg EX800s and things like that on a daily basis, right? So it sits up there for 12 months, and haven't updated the postage in it. And 12 months ago, the postage might have been
I've had this
$50 to send a Korg EX800 to the US, and now it's $100 to send it to it. I'm going to get screwed on the postage. Reverb aren't going to get screwed on it. I'm going to get screwed on it.
You can't amend it.
No, you can. You can amend it, but you've got to manually go in and amend it.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's the same one. See.
Watching
Steve.
from UK
Hang on.
for the fees.
G'day, Steve. Thanks, mate.
G'day, Steve.
I saw the photo with you with
part of the world,
with Andrew.
With Andrew,
Kent Andrew, okay.
Yeah.
Long list.
Nice to see you up and about, mate. Good on you, mate. Thanks a lot for that.
Nice.
So for me, do your fee shopping is kind of what I'm saying. Do your postage and your fee shopping.
Yes. I do that every time I buy something.
Yeah, we're seriously looking at doing less with eBay because we pay for a shop, a monthly shop. So we've got £25 for a basic eBay shop, and then on top of that we've got the insertion fees over a certain amount, and then we have a promotions fee, and it really does ramp up. I used to say it was about 20%. It's actually much higher now. Over the last 3 months, it's got a lot higher. It's probably nearer 30% now. I haven't done the actual maths, but Reverb, it is cheaper for us to sell on Reverb, but there's all that extra stuff as well. And I suspect now, because these investment companies they'll want their return. I don't know what they've paid for it, but I suspect the prices will, the fees will go up.
I think they will too, because when you think about it, when you buy something, you're not buying something to lose money on it. You're going to buy something with a potential to make money on it. Yeah. So maybe they've seen that there's potential to make money on Reverb because maybe their fees have been a bit. I mean, Etsy as a business model, I've always seen them as kind of like a discount sort of business model, right? Which they're actually really quite successful. They almost kind of remind me about, you know, not in a bad way, about like, you know, TMU and those sort of things in that sort of bracket where you feel like if you're going to use the Etsy system, it's not too bad. You're not going to be stung too badly with their fees and the way it works. It's but on that, it's kind of like quite of a cut down. I mean, Chris, you have more experience than me in this, but it's a very cutthroat, cut down interface that they give you. It's not very like polished, and so you get that, you see that with their system. But once you've kind of worked around their idiosyncrasies, it's actually not too bad, and then they don't really sting you too badly for fees. Like Chris, you could choose to use Reverb to sell your modules, right?
Yeah, I could.
But you chose
I could have a
Etsy because
Reverb
because it's cheaper, right? To use
Yes.
Etsy. It's quite considerably cheaper.
It fitted my venture at the time, which was
I mean, I wonder how much reach some of these companies. Sorry, how much reach some of these companies have, because obviously, in terms of reach, eBay is probably number one. I mean, we do. I'd tell you exactly where we sell. We sell on Reverb, we sell on eBay, we do a little bit still on Amazon, but I've been running that down for a very long time now, and I've hardly ever sell anything on Amazon anymore. I don't put things up on Amazon anymore. Again, their fees are about 18% off the top, you know, and that's me shipping it. It's even more if you put it in their fulfillment centers. But certainly, I mean, we regularly sell on a weekly basis through eBay. You know,
well, I think
a good amount for a small business.
You know, I think if Reverb are going to put anything up, and they are still forcing me to use PayPal, which is extremely expensive on fees, I'm just going to say, okay, bye. Sorry, I'm going to walk.
I will say the good thing about Etsy is that at least in Australia, Etsy Australia, you can link your bank account.
Yeah.
In fact, they encourage you to link your bank account.
Yeah, that's so then I mean, I have to say,
it works quite well.
Very good.
Then you don't get international fee transactions either.
Just hope they don't have a data breach.
I know that. Yeah. Well, I mean,
they all do, mate.
System,
they all do. They just don't tell you about them.
Yeah. If I lost my Evo shop
they're
tomorrow,
they're supposed to tell
miss
you.
it.
They don't.
Legally.
They don't.
Yeah. I wouldn't miss.
You
my
guys ever
Evo
use
shop
Craigslist anymore? Anyone buy through Craigslist?
Well, Craigslist, we actually have Craigslist in Australia, but we've got a thing called Gumtree here, and they have it in the UK as well.
Yeah, Gumtree. I've used that before too.
Yeah. So it's kind of similar. I mean, you guys have got movies about Craigslist murderers and stuff. So you have to be careful. Even with Gumtree, you have to be careful. Those. Gumtree's owned by eBay, if I remember rightly.
Is it?
I believe so.
I know we've got. I mean, and I have occasionally used Facebook Marketplace, but there's a lot of idiots there as well. I've never sold anything on Gumtree, although I've got a Gumtree account. You know.
Oh, I've sold stuff
but yeah,
on
no,
Gumtree.
If like I say, if I lose my Reverb account, I don't need it.
Yeah. No. All right. Well, that's the end of the news. Interesting sort of array of stuff coming out. Just remember too that a lot of stuff's been held back with the news at the moment too. So when I'm finding stuff to show you guys, you know, it's slim pickings, but it's not. I'm not going to show you just any sort of stray cat that walks in. If there's not really anything to, I mean, I literally just. I saw about 10 things that went over my desk that I could have shown you in the show, but I just look at it and go, nah, that's not news.
Nah.
You know, some people sort of reinventing things that have already been invented and stuff like that. Just, you know, products that don't really deserve to be mentioned. But if I do show you something on the show, it's because I feel that you guys, not because I feel personally that I could do something with it. I feel that you guys could benefit from a product. So when I was showing you that the Larix Elektro time module, it actually had a relevance to what we were talking about a couple of shows ago. When I showed the stereo mixer, I thought, how cool is this? It's a very slim end of patch type mixer that you can chuck in your case. And I like the innovation with the VCA and the outputs on the back of it, so it saves space. I showed you the error instruments, how they're thinking about. Some people don't want a sound design; they just want the sounds. And I thought that was innovative. How they made another version of something they've already invented, and thought maybe someone suggested. I don't know how that works in some of these organisations, but I just thought that was clever. And definitely think the Arturia V Collection 11 is probably the one to get if you've been sitting around the hover of the buy button of that V Collection. This is probably the one to get. It's full of some good stuff. That JP Jupiter or whatever it is, 8,000.
8,000.
If that doesn't reminisce you back to the 90s, I don't know what will.
Armin van Buren, that's all I can say.
Let's go to Super Saw, shall we?
Guess trance.
Can I just ask?
Time for a rave? Darren would love it.
I've just gone onto the Gear Trader site, and everything's in dollars. Is there a UK version of it?
He's done Australian, so I'm not sure. And also, one thing I liked about it too is I was actually, Brad's on my Facebook friends list, so I was just chatting to him. When he first launched the site, I was, technically beta testing. He didn't ask me to. I just jumped on and loaded a few things up there. And I was giving him some feedback about some of the things that he could improve, and he'd fixed them straight away like that. So it's good that he's involved in that.
I have to say, I do like Stripe as a payment system because I've used them for quite a few years as well.
I think I use Stripe with GeForce software. I think I'd use Stripe for that.
Yeah. Bandcamp. Some of the Bandcamp stuff is Stripe as well.
I think that we shouldn't. If Reverb was owned by Etsy don't own PayPal.
It's weird, isn't it?
I don't know why they forced PayPal. I just thought that there's got to be some flexibility with that. It's kind of something.
I think because PayPal's been around so long and it does protect you. I've had good luck with protection from PayPal, so that's why they use it. So,
but it doesn't protect you.
Well.
It doesn't protect you if you do a family and friends payment. Right?
No, you don't do that.
And they'll still
if you're trying to be cheap and save the fees. They won't protect you. So
and they won't.
Exactly. Yeah. Fees higher.
And the thing is, you can't do that through Reverb. So it's really like if PayPal should be sending Reverb a check, I think, because they've made a stack of money through it from.
I'm sure they have some back end deal or something. There's probably.
I'm sure it must be.
Yeah.
All right. Now, why don't we do? We've got a couple more segments to go. We've got Price Watch, which Andy's going to do. We've got to wrap up the synth quiz, which we've got another clue to do. I won't do the clue just yet because I feel like we should get through a couple more segments. And then after that, we're going to do How's Your Week Been and Saturday's Sonority. So do stick around. There's some cool stuff coming up. But Andy, are you ready to do Price Watch? Shall we hit that one now?
Yeah, sure.
Hey, look at that. Look at that enthusiasm.
Still waking up.
Hey, that's typical. That's just how he rolls, man. It's mellow.
Yeah.
We're allowed to bash him. All right, Andy, it's all yours, buddy. I'm just going to put the chatties where Darren is. Here we go.
Alrighty. So this one is kind of fun because Eddie and I do that 6 oscillators thing with the guitar synthy stuff. But this is kind of fun because it's a Pat Metheny kind of configuration that he would use on tour. And if you go through the pages, that first page there is cool. If you zoom in, you actually see cut off. Some of those knobs are actually just for the synth part. So if you zoom in on that, make that full screen probably is the best thing.
I'm going to do that in some bizarre way. Hang on a sec. How do I do that?
And zoom in a little further on the guitar itself, and you can see the knobs are actually designed to be controlling the synth properties, which is cool. That's a kind of a novel approach.
Actually, you know what?
Plastic on the pickup.
Andy, you know what we do? We'll go to the Reverb listing. Should we do that?
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, I sent you those links too, so you can.
Yeah. Cool. Let's do that. So, is it this button? I always forget which button it is. I think it's this button. Yay. Here we go. All right. So, what was I looking
blow
at?
up the knob section there, and you can read the text. Is actually there's a cutoff knob there, and there's
Yeah, just here.
is the cutoff.
Yeah.
Then there's
it's cut off, and there's some other.
Then there's a VCO.
Some other stuff. Yeah, it's really clever. And then if you scroll through the pictures, you can see the module that it connects to.
You see it, yeah.
So for the whole rig.
There you go. There's a closer one.
Oh, there you go.
So cutoff.
Of course, it's
upside down. I don't know, but anyway, resonance.
Because the guitarist playing it can read it.
Yeah, he's up here,
looking down,
so
he can read it.
Yeah, if you go through the other pictures on there, there you go. There's
300,
the GR module. So apparently this is a Pat Metheny workflow. I'm not a huge Pat Metheny fan, but he does make some interesting tech stuff, including that Orchestrion rig he built for the stage show. But I thought it was kind of clever because although it's guitar, it is guitar synthy stuff. So it's
when did the Roland GR 300 come out?
I don't remember. I know Eddie would know that for sure.
Relative to the 55.
Quite a while ago, I think.
Yeah, it's old.
GR
1980.
One where
1980.
This is the one where it has a massive latency problem.
Oberheim.
Because I remember
type era.
I was once talking to a guy who played a Queen tribute act who used the Roland GR300, and he said the latency was horrendous on it, but he got used to it over time.
I remember.
Yeah, so you have to learn the approach to it, then you can make it work. Because obviously he used it on stage and whatever. So
no, but I remember this had a little quirky thing, and then Roland brought out another version of this. It was still called the GR300. Nothing looked any different except it was black, and I remember that it tracked better. There was literally some improvement that they did, and it's become one of those little dodgy things that they used to do in the old days with stuff. So if you get the black one, it's pretty much the same. You get mostly all the same algorithms and patches and stuff, but it actually tracked a bit better from memory. Because I've had a couple of GRs. I saw one just
nice
recently.
carpet, by the way.
He's vacuumed it.
Yeah, look at that.
There's some other interesting carpet shots in these pictures coming up. So,
all right, cool.
But
that's that one.
Yeah, that was kind of cool because it's like a custom thingy. So that was kind of fun.
Let's go next.
Right, what's the next one? Okay, yeah.
Ooh.
So this one was fun because, according to Vintage Synth, because I don't know the synth that well, but according to Vintage Synth, the oscillators are syncable, and the mixer allows you to distort the sounds appropriately for certain styles of music. So it became very popular for certain users. Apparently NXS used one.
All right.
But
cool.
It's on the Shabu Shaba album.
Shabu Shaba.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, other than that, it's just it's a Roland SH synth. But I thought it was cool that it had syncable oscillators, and the mixer was purposely used to distort the audio. Thought that was kind of clever. And look at the carpet there.
Have a look at this though.
Yeah, that's nice. That's a swirly carpet. That's nice. That.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's clean, isn't it? It's nice and clean. I know it's been.
The color is interesting too. It's very colorful compared to some of the stuff back then.
Yeah.
I mean,
almost like Yamaha kind of
personally, if I had to, I would still go with the SH5.
Sure, SH5 is considered better. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it has more controls too, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it does. Okay. All right, it's a good one. Next.
Yeah. So this one I put in there because not only is the price crazy on it, but I almost got one of these. I was going to get this, and then I thought, well, maybe I should get the Rogue because I wanted the two wheel controllers instead of the ribbon. And in retrospect, I should have got this one because the ribbon controller is very clever for this one. And I think this had early aftertouch or something like that. This had some weird thing on the key bed that was unique about it. And also better control over the oscillators than the Rogue has. So in retrospect, I should have gotten this, but I think this was a Herb Deutsch one. It wasn't a direct Bob Moog one.
No.
So the aftertouch can be used for pitch, VCF, or the
There
LFO
you go.
rate.
Yeah, aftertouch. Yeah. So that would have been my first aftertouch keyboard.
What I wanted to find out though was what's quirky about the ribbon controller. It's a tight pitch.
Not quirky,
bend.
it's just a metallic. It's like
okay.
skin touch.
Like
as
a
you move up and
capacitive
down.
one. Yeah.
But they wear out. I've seen some that are totally trash from people just going crazy on them. So you got to find one that's in good shape because they can wear through. But they have this on the micro Moog and the multi Moog. No, this is all
MIDI.
analog.
No, this is prior to MIDI. Yeah.
Total analog. Yeah.
This is the bigger brother to the Micro Moog, isn't it?
Yes, basically, yeah. In fact, I know Rich Hilton was a big fan of these. He was talking about it on the pub many times because the amount of controls and the expression and all that stuff.
Well, expression is king.
This is when I got away. I should have bought one when they were cheap. This is $8,000 or something. So it's like it's crazy.
No, it's not. It's not 8. It's 8. It's 9 for us over here, and we get ripped off about everything land.
Did I say 8?
No, it's only 6. Only 6 for you.
6.
Oh, that's right. Because that's right. Your conversion. It was still a lot, though. I mean, way more than. But when I was looking at these, the Rogue was, I think, $800, and this was only like another $100 or $200 more. So
I never liked it for
$1,000 basically. So I just wanted something real Moog. It's all I could afford at the time. It's beefy as all hell, and it was better than the MG1 because the controls were better on it. I thought.
I think what comes close to this as a modern Moog is obviously the subsequent 37 with the 2 oscillators. But I always wanted the sub 37 to have a ribbon controller on it because I thought that would have made that synth just killer. Because everything else, it was knob per function for everything pretty much. And do you remember when they first came out? It was just a beautiful thing with all these knobs, and I think a ribbon controller just would have made it killer. You can still plug one of those dope ones in it though, the USB ones.
Yeah, it's true.
The next,
nothing else special about that one really. This was interesting.
Wow,
so I
from
don't
Out of
know if you guys know
Space.
who Ray Wilson was.
Oh yeah.
He died back in 2016. And if you're interested, like obviously Maikshifter is into the homemade stuff. This guy was like a pioneer for the music from outer space system that he kind of developed. Yeah, the website's still there, and I'll put it in the chat, actually. It's still a functional website, still a very vibrant community, from what I understand. I never bought any of their stuff, but I used to watch their stuff on eBay and Reverb, and they're very colorful, well-built kind of homebrew things. And he was very open about, he actually published a book through Make, the Maker Faire Make guys. There's a Make book called Analog Synthesizers that he published. And he was very open about sharing his circuits and everything. He wasn't closed off at all. A very open source kind of guy, encouraging more people to get into synthesis and to make things. So check out that website. It's cool.
It looks amazing. It looks like it's early internet, isn't it? It's fantastic.
Very.
Yeah, and they had really interesting configurations too.
Oh, I've been here before.
configurations of
Yeah, I've seen this website before.
Yeah. So Ray was a real pioneer. A lot of people don't know him or have not heard the name. So it's good to talk about him. That's one of the main reason I wanted to show this. But also, they just look cool and they're very functional. Like I said, I've never owned one or built one, but the stuff's all out there. You can easily go download the stuff and make your own. You don't have to go buy a kit from some other standard manufacturer. Just make your own from these.
It is very colourful. I do like
designs.
that.
Yeah.
Very clean.
It's got a 2500-ish feel
Yeah,
to
it
it,
does.
doesn't it?
Yes, especially with the all the jacks always at the bottom.
Yep.
The sockets, yeah. Ooh,
And of course, it's pricey, but it's it's all built for
Right
you,
away.
and you don't have to go through all that work. Yeah.
Look at that. Look at that wiring. Kent
That's the part the mouse sees.
Yeah.
All right, what else we got?
It's kind of like some of the Paya stuff. If you know the Paya group, PAIA, also did a lot of homemade stuff and kits and things like that. And you look at the back of the PAIA gear inside, it's all like that with the wires everywhere. So, this is cool because not only is it related to Moog, but it's also calls out the old period of Big Briar. So apparently he sold the company in 1973 to another company, Moog Music, and started Big Briar in 78, just so he could continue working on his stuff until he finally got his company name back. I think in 87, I think it was. So Big Briar was a thing for a while for Bob Moog, and so it's funny to see something labeled Big Briar. It's got the old style cabinet of the old vacuum tube theremins, but with his more modern, transistor design inside of it. So
if you open the side, pigeons come flying out.
It screams the RCA one that you've seen in the old videos, and I've actually played at the Exploratorium in San Francisco. They actually have an RCA
black and
one.
white. Yeah, black and white footage.
But it's similar cabinet shape and design on the legs and stuff. It's cool.
Wowzers.
Signed.
Coils.
Look at
Make it work.
Look at that, boys.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah.
There it is.
That's probably one of the reasons why it is that price as well, I would suggest.
Oh, sure.
Providence.
And that was the first thing he built. If people don't know Bob Moog's history that well, he was building theremin kits when he was young before he started doing the synthesizers. So this has a whole legacy, which is proud legacy.
It was his bread and butter.
All that stuff.
That was his bread and butter.
Yeah.
And then obviously he got very, very well with the Mini Moog. That was his next big accomplishment.
Yep.
But there were obviously many big accomplishments in between, like with the modular and things like that, of course. But the big, big accomplishment of the Mini Moog was commercial. Yeah.
Yeah, I've read the two books on Bob, and he completely dismissed the Mini Moog when it first came out. When it was first, designed, he just couldn't see the point of it, and then, but what a brilliant piece of synthesizer engineering that is. It's amazing.
Well, I think it was more that he had pressure for the book that I read. I can't remember which one it was. I've read many books on Bob, but the one that I read that is he got pressure from musicians about them wanting him to design something that was portable that they could take to gigs. To concerts.
Yeah, the latest one is Switched On.
Might have been that one.
The other one I've got somewhere else as well. Doesn't just cover.
I talked to Michelle when I bought her book at Synthplex and got her to sign it, and she said that book that more recent Bob Moog book is accurate.
Yeah, that's the Switched On one. Yeah.
Yeah, the other one had a lot of inaccuracies.
It
was a good book.
Yeah.
But
It's not just about Bob though, because it covers all sort of. There's Don Buchler in there and all sorts of other stuff as well. So it's not just about Bob.
Yeah,
is that earlier book?
Sure. Well, you can't really. I mean, they're both
Analog Days. That's it. Analog Days. It's called.
Analog Days was the old one.
But the Switched On book is really, really good.
All right, let's go to the next one. And I think this is the last one, right? Yeah, this is the last one.
Yeah, these are just effects. I thought it was funny because they're quite expensive, and I've never actually used.
Yeah.
Well, Dimension
this
D
era of effects.
Dimension D always has been.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, I just thought it was a fun collection of effects, and look at the price. Holy smokes!
I mean, I know a lot about these, by the way. So, the Dimension D is the chorus the chorus algorithms that are, technically from a lot of the Roland stuff that you would have heard for many, many, many years.
Well, Vangelis used them a lot, right? So.
Yeah, so it developed from the Juno chorus and all that sort of stuff. So you guys will know these sounds very, very well. They use Bucket Brigade delay chips and things like that. I mean, it's actually not a bad price. The phase shifter, the one that's down the bottom, is the circuit from the System 700. If I remember correctly. Is there any? This is the only photo, is it? Oh. Well, that sucks.
doesn't it?
Yeah, unfortunately, that was it.
SPH323. I think that's the one. The Roland. Let me just double check. SPH323. I'm pretty sure that's the system 700 one. I'm not going to find that very, very quickly.
This is the time period when they put like little circuit diagrams on the front of the panels and stuff. I always like that stuff, though.
Oh, okay. So this is the 8-stage one. So this will probably be okay. So it's basically two phase shifters in there. There's a 4 and an 8-stage selection on it. Yeah, I should have noticed that with the switch. So that's probably System 100 M days, maybe. I don't know. Kent's around. He'd probably be able to tell us. I don't think he is. But maybe I might have got them mixed up. But anyway, I mean, either or, it's going to sound pretty similar. They're very, very similar. Obviously, when you go from 4-stage to 8-stage, it sounds a lot different. But I kind of feel like if you guys know your phases, 8-stage is a pretty thick sounding phase effect, and you guys will probably enjoy that, especially with synths, because it tends to bite into a synth sound.
Yeah.
In that sense, yeah. Let me just double check something here. We should probably shout out to people on TikTok. I noticed that there was Don was in there, so big shout out to Don on TikTok. And what was the other platform we got going? We should probably shout out to who's on Twitch at the moment. Let's have a quick looky. I'm probably going to have to mute this. Was there 39 people on Twitch? That's pretty big. Just with Twitch, I think Culture of Ghosts is on there, so big shout. I should make Culture of Ghosts. I don't know if I can make him a mod or something. I have to look into that. He's always on there. Even when I do the test streams, he's always on there. So big shout out to him.
On Twitch, yeah.
On Twitch, yeah. So it's good to have him because I know someone that you can trust that's around. But
Absolutely.
What I was going to say is on Twitch, I'm currently sitting at, I think it's like 19 or 18 or something followers. And if I get to 50, which is a little bit more than double, they put me up to the next thing. This is not me that wants to do it. This is Twitch that wants me to be in that. When I get into the next stage, I think it's called Associate or something. They give me some extra features that I can use in the show, and it will make the show a bit better on Twitch. So if you are sitting in Twitch right now, or if you guys have Twitch, you're on YouTube right now, jump in and hit me a follow, and I'll follow you back as a tit for tat. Pat, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. And see if we can get me up to 50, and then that gets me across to the next thing. It's like a goal thing that they want.
I have a Twitch account which I haven't used for years, so I'll go in and see if I can log in and I'll subscribe.
I've already subscribed to your Twitch, Ranzee. I use it once in a while. So.
Yeah, cool. Thanks, Andy, for bringing all those
no worries. It was
interesting
fun.
things in. Yeah. Guys, which would you choose to buy if you had that array of interesting things that Andy brought to us this week? Would you buy any of that used gear? Indeed.
Sure.
I like the MFOS thing.
Yeah. I'm sort of leaning towards that. I did like the SH7.
Yeah, me too.
It's not an SH5, but still got that look.
Yeah, the SH7 would be interesting to play with, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and you can't get MFOS. It's modular.
That's true. That's true.
What's Manny doing drinking beer at this time of the day? Good on you, Manny. You want me to go grab a beer? I can go grab a beer if that helps. We'll all drink beer with you, mate. How's that sound? Hey, there you go.
What's that?
That would be a Twitch. Actually, it will tell me in a sec. Here, if I get my little Mac to.
Sounds like Tinkerbell.
They are Twitch followers coming through. James now following me, and I think the one before was, I don't know who Spectromat is, but Spectromat, let us know. Yeah, Jim just said it. So thanks, guys. I'll follow you guys back. Actually, I should do that now.
Matt as well.
Matt. Okay, there you go. That's who it was. Why did that close? Pablo's in there. Big hello to Pablo. Where did I get the followy thing go? Oh, it's annoying. Anyway, what we should do while I'm working this out is
Synth quiz.
Give me a sec, guys. Is we probably should give you the third clue for the synth quiz, shouldn't we? We'll do that. Okay. Third clue for the synth quiz is 3-wheel type controllers.
3-wheel.
Look at that. Put that in your pipe and twist it and smoke it and set it on fire. Jump up and down, wave your hands in the air, run around the room, scream, throw your synth at the screen and make this sound. Who threw their synth? Yeah.
It's like David Letterman.
I have had a few people put a few guesses in already. So I can't tell anyone yet if you have. Just remember, if you are going to chuck your guess in chat, in Twitch or on YouTube or a TikTok or wherever you are, can you put synth quiz?
At Ranzee.
Yeah, or at Ranzee, synth quiz, and then you guess. So Robert, can you just do it again, but put Ranzee, synth quiz, and then you guess. I know I've seen it, but do it the right way. Do it right.
Do it right.
Now, how do I go into?
Can't have more than one guess, Robert, either.
Yes. There we go. So James followed you back, done, and Matt followed you back. Cool, done. Bert followed you back, done. Awesome. Keep them coming, guys. I'm now at 21, so we've got a little bit over double. We're going to get to 50. So yeah, keep the Twitch stuff going. You got it wrong anyway. You don't know that. You don't know that, mate. You don't know. In fact, what we're going to do now is we're going to do How's Your Week Been? And I'm going to start this week with Chris. And Chris.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Before I go to a big camera on you, I'm just going to say, Chris, can you tell us
what the hell that is?
What that is?
Oh, there it is. That's it.
Look at the little tendril plug on it.
Yeah.
What is that, Chris? Yeah, that.
Look, there's two of them.
Or is it?
Look, it's another one.
Yeah. Or is it? Can we actually
lots of
buy
them.
that, Chris? Can we buy that here?
Oh, what the hell? Someone's taken my idea and put it on an Etsy page. Oh, hang on,
Yeah.
no, that's me.
Gosh.
Yeah, so these are the passive attenuators I may have mentioned a couple of weeks ago, which we've been featuring a couple of times in recent weeks in videos, which is why it's kind of precipitated. It's the right time to put them on sale. So yeah, so I chucked these up for sale. You can get them in red or black. I quite like the red because it matches the PCB. Quite sexy. The cool thing about these ones is the way that they've got a right angle connector. Eat J. Cole. Because they've got the because they've got the right angles. Put it in front of my face. Because they've got the right angles, they sit at a specific orientation to the rest of your modular. So if you put it in the little, let's get this lined up. The little pot always faces out, which is quite useful, and because it's got a cable in one end, it's quite useful for plugging into modules that don't have an attenuator on them, but you want to plug something.
How much strain can they handle by hanging by that thing?
Oh, I can lift its own weight. No, it's
Is it like wrapped around?
Can you see that? Yeah, can you see it's a cable tie, which is tightly.
Okay, right.
Yes, that's completely capable. I can do this. I can do this. I can use focus, can't I?
Because it was just cool.
There you go. But you can also see on the page of Rant, it's a bit clearer to see photographs on the actual Etsy page. If you want to have a look and see how it's constructed, I've got lots of different angles, so you can see every little dab of solder and whatnot. Yes, if you go to probably this third page. Yeah, you can see. So you can see it's just a good old strain relief style using cable ties. So yeah, it can take a fair bit of strain. It's just a tendril, so it takes whatever strain a tendril normally would take. Yeah, there's no problem. Like, you can dangle a long cable, no problem at all. Yeah, that's why I used a cable tie, because you don't want to rely on the solder. Yes, exactly. You don't want to rely. You don't want to rely on the solder, do you? No, it's a bad idea. Yep.
Back to Chris.
Cool.
How's your week been, mate?
So, the week's been kind of busy and eventful this week.
Hasn't it? What?
Finished off Easter. It's the beginning of the week. We had public holiday, a few family functions to go to. Saw the doc this week. I'm going to still live, it seems. Working on new modules.
You nearly said unfortunately there, didn't you?
He did, actually.
you nearly said unfortunately.
Damn, it's not gone from the show. I thought he was going to cock it this week. Yeah, I know, it's a sound like that. Yeah, working on new modules. Me and Rant actually met up this week. Rant is helping me with my new modules, doing a bit of testing and giving me some great ideas. I think we had a pretty good chin wag, didn't we, Ants?
We did.
And yeah, it's always good to catch up.
Keep going. I'm going to be back in a sec.
He's getting a beer. Cool. So then there's making the passive attenuators. Built them this week, and put up the Etsy page, doing all that kind of good stuff. A few arrivals this week. I might, if I'm going to take a bit of time, I might just go over to a different camera. That's probably the thing to do, isn't it? What do we have? That's not going to work, is it? It's noise of that.
Screen, yeah.
Oh, there you go. So, let's turn on the lights so we can see what's going on. This thing arrived. I'll just turn up my lapel mic. This thing arrived, which is a colour from Elk Electronic in Victoria, West Australia. And believe it or not, it's actually a light controller for the modular. So it controls LED strips from your modular.
Or is it?
No, it's actually they're like the ones you could buy consumer. You just buy them on China and stuff like that. So they're nice and cheap. You just put your power in here, and then you put your LED strip or LED panels. It does full panels as well. It even does text and stuff like that. It's pretty wild. This was a Kickstarter that I backed end of last year. It's come through. He's got it done. He's done a good job on this module. The manual's going to take a bit of reading though. It's got a long manual. They've added a lot of new features. But you can see V-Control, different parameters, and then you've got your different colours there that you can adjust as well. So I could show you a bit more of that later on, after we've done our weekly things. But other than that, I should probably turn the camera around, but I do actually have the sump pump here. So thank you, Brian, for the sump pump. I'm looking forward to having a lot of fun with it, but at the moment it's a case of me scratching my head just how I'm going to patch it in to what I've got here, because I've kind of in the middle of things such as that thing and stuff with Rant. So we'll get to it though, and I'll do a proper demo of it or something like that.
Awesome.
Yep. So apart from that, I don't think there's anything else I need to add. As I said, pretty full on week.
Was a pretty full on week. Just thought I'd cheers to Manny. Cheers, mate. Also, a bit of a shout out to Mac.
Yep.
Because I've actually got the T-shirt finally. So this is Mac's Synth Geekery shirt, and I'll grab the link in a sec to his store. I'll just turn around. You guys can see what's on the back.
That's awesome.
It is pretty cool.
So there you go. You've got some cool stuff to wear. So give me a second. I'll just I'll find the link for that whilst you guys have a chat to Ian, because he's going to tell you how his week's been.
Good week. Off the meds, so off the drugs. Don't do drugs, kids. Ooh. So I am definitely improving. At least I'm vertical now, not horizontal. So put out a video on Monday, which was about why Facebook have stolen my copyright. But I'll leave that down there. Some of you have already watched it. It's actually not about music. It's about written copyright. Because I was still in London till Wednesday. So Tuesday, I went to a concert. I went to see William Baskinski, who is a sort of ambient composer. And it was quite an expensive concert, nice venue, the Union Chapel in London. And I sat there for 45 minutes. Well, the support act was really good, but I sat there for 45 minutes and watched this man do nothing. Basically play his laptop. Well, his laptop was connected to a Allen and Heath mixer, 2 stereo input in, and a microphone that he muted after the first 30 seconds. And he literally sat there for 45 minutes and put his hand on the mixer and did nothing. Now, for me, that's not a concert. That's just a bloke sat on stage, almost falling asleep. He was inebriated because he'd been drinking wine, because he brought his wine on stage as well. So, I mean, it sounded great. I mean, the music was good, and the light show was good. The venue was great, but I'm sorry, Bill. No, thank you. I hope we're going to see him again. Anyway,
at least have the nerve to pantomime turning knobs and stuff. Is it?
No, he literally put his hand on the hand and he did nothing. And, you know, I mean, he got a good reception. I mean, I don't think anybody realised that he actually wasn't doing anything, you know. I thought I'd fallen asleep at one point. It's quite ambient, you know. So, and then Thursday, I went and did an EMOM in Bournemouth, which is a trek for me. It's about an hour and a half to get there. Great venue. It's a little sort of micro pub that has a brewery. And the guys there running the EMOM was great. Got a really good reception. I played for about just under 20 minutes. I have recorded it. I haven't videoed it. They've videoed it. So there'll be some video at some time in the future, but I'll put the audio out at some point as well. It was a really, really good night. Lots of really, typical EMOM, lots of really supportive people there. It made new friends. Annoyingly, I can't do the next one because I'm going to be back in London, which is end of May, I think. Yeah, a really, really good night. You know, I will definitely go back again for that, really. And then the only other thing that happened this week, I was meant to release the End of Skies album on streaming services yesterday, but I've had a bit of a spat with our distributor because the day before they told me there's some issues. And the main issue being I am the only composer, but the album is various. And as I tried to explain to them, the reason it's various is because there is, you know, there's voice actors, there's written content that I've put the music to, and I can't seem to get this across to them. So anyway, it's delayed. Don't know when it's going to be out yet, but so we've had an email conversation, so we say, that was not, not as polite as I would have liked, but I didn't swear at them. But and that was slightly irritating, especially we geared everything, all the promo we geared to the race being yesterday. But hey ho, these things are sent to triers. But that's it, really. Yeah, so it's been a good week. I'm so much better now. I'm not feeling comatose like a zombie.
Awesome.
You know. Yeah, so I've still got pain, but it's certainly manageable in my face. But and that is getting better, I think, really.
Cool.
Awesome. I'm glad you're feeling a little bit better, Ian. That's awesome,
thanks,
mate.
Guys.
We'll head over to Andy. Hey, how's your week been, mate?
Hey. Not too eventful. Weather's been all over the map. It's been in the low 50s at night, rainy off and on, nice weather. The weather can't make up its mind. It's like, you know, it is technically spring, but it doesn't know that. So, it's very, very, very schizophrenic weather. I haven't done any EMOMs for a while, just been too busy and and it's a bit of a trek to go to San Francisco to do that. So one of these days I'll do some more. They had one this Thursday, just past Thursday up there, but I didn't even get a chance to watch the stream. Hardware Jams was fun last week. I did a Korean gugak style, is what they call it. It's a Korean classical style, similar to Chinese and Japanese music, but with a little spin on it. My little spin on it. So check that out if you like percussion and zithery bits, and flutes, things like that. Yeah, you like zithery bits.
I'm into that. I'm into that.
Yeah, it's fun. Other than that, not much to report. It was fun coming up with those things we showed earlier, because it's good to see instruments I haven't seen before, and revisit things that I haven't thought about Ray Wilson for a long time. So it's nice to talk about him again. So
yeah, absolutely.
That was it. Yeah.
Yay!
Actually, I just remember there's one more thing. This turned up the other day.
Yeah.
Micro Monster.
Now, yeah. Okay. Now, I have been on the waiting list for about 18 months for this, but this
is that audio
new.
thingies? Audio thingies?
Yeah, it's new, but
French guy.
This guy, but a guy in the UK bought two, and basically he didn't need the second one, so it turned up on Thursday. I've not done anything with it. My plan is to make that my main synth for the instrument. That's the idea. So I need to set it up for MPE and all that. But I had the Micro Monster one, which I did quite like, but it was a bit laggy in MPE mode. But
the guy makes good gear, though. I have his Dr. A reverb delay box, which is really nice.
Yeah.
And also behaves with modular too.
They're always in short supply.
If I remember rightly, the guy's name's Samuel.
I know he's a one-man band, and he's a nice guy because I got a fridge magnet and some stickers, and so I've got two fridge magnets now, one for the Micro Monster 1 and one for the Micro Monster 2. But
shout out to Samuel from Audio Thing. He's done some good stuff. The delay thing that he made too was awesome. A lot of synth people love that delay thing. It's like a delay pedal. Is it a pedal?
Yeah.
I think it's a pedal. Yeah, that's also cool. Awesome. All right. So why don't we see if we've got some answers for the synth quiz, shall we? Should we do this? Gilly's been busy being the synth quiz master this week, and we've had the 3 clues that have gone out to you guys already. The 3 have been out there. I'm not going to repeat them. So we should see if we've got someone who's answered it correctly. Now, let me just go through the chat. Can I search this chat? Is that possible? How do I search? I don't even know if it goes back that far. Does it? Let's have a squiz here. Let's have a squiz. Okay, so who's actually given me... James has said the Polybrute. Okay. It's a pretty interesting idea. What else have we got here? Andrew Longhurst thought it was cake. I don't know what sort of cake you're eating, mate, but if it's got 3 wheels,
dual 5-pin MIDI,
yeah,
and 3 wheels,
yeah.
That's an interesting
did Manny make a guess? I can't remember if he's made a guess or not. He keeps asking me to go back and check. And I think there was a couple of other guesses that were before that were...
Manny was verifying someone else's guess already.
Yeah. So, there is one person who has got it correct, and I will reveal the answer now, and that person can say hooray to themselves in chat. And the answer is the Yamaha EX5 is the correct answer, according to Gilly. So, good job. Irrational Fear, is that his nick in chat? I think it is, isn't it?
It is indeed.
So well done. Nice quiz this week. And who's the winner? Anyone guess? Has the person already worked out who the winner is? There is a person that's done it.
Dr. Synth says EX5. Is he anybody before him? Wagyu before him.
Someone
Robert
before Wagyu, I
said
forgot who
that.
it was.
I think Robert was
said
last, wasn't
that. Was he?
Oh, was Robert the first? Was he? Okay, cool.
Culture of Ghost was before him.
Robert was the Culture of Ghosts.
Robert. Oh no! Sorry, I've just seen it because Robert had done Yamaha
Robert got
X5
it.
and then he put Korg's head one. But
Yeah, I think Robert got it. Well done, Robert.
Robert was.
Do a little. Here's going me in chat. Do a little dance, mate.
Good job, but it makes me
Dance
sad
around the
because this was
studio.
one of my synths that was stolen. I really like the EX5 and now I don't have
I'm
it
the
anymore,
synth
so-
quiz man. Dance around your studio.
Yeah.
I'm the synth quiz man.
Yes. Freak the
In
neighbours
fact-
out. Yeah.
In fact, in the chat, actually, because Robert is a channel member, he can use the special emotes. There is a Synth Lord one. There it is. There.
There it is.
Is that?
Yeah, I'll show you. Synth Lord. So he deserves to wear that hat. There you go. Look at that.
Oh God! Yeah, it's first time I've seen them.
These are
Put 'em on the
Ranzee
Ritz.
specific emotes. Yeah.
There we go. He's got. I'll give him an award.
Yeah. There's the gas one too. I forgot about that one. Synth at the screen. Synth
the gas,
one.
yeah.
Yeah, the gas one. Yeah. Yes. Ah, dearie me. Right. Well, what we should do now is we've done all the segments except for the best one, some people say. Oh, guys, I kind of get a little scared when we say ask us anything. I do. I kind of do. Because we've had a few tricky questions over the last few weeks, some through YouTube, some through anything else. I've definitely had a few that I will definitely feel kind of a bit worried about answering. But while we're here, I thought maybe this week we'll just get the guys in chat, or even just you guys here, can ask questions or talk about whatever. I mean, Saturday Sonority is really let your hair down. Let's chew the breeze. Let's talk about synths. That's what the show's about. And we've got, I don't know, a good 15 minutes we can do that for. While I have a beer.
Well, I drink water.
Well, since
Well,
you
I don't
brought
have
up
to
the
try,
beer,
so-
I wish the guy at in Italy who makes the modular stuff. Is it? It's not Audio Thingies. It's the I forgot the name of the company. It's an Italian modular company. He made a breathalyzer module, and it was a joke he had at Super Booth. And I wish he would bring it back as a real module. You know, the drunker you get, the more modulation you get. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should probably mention too, if Robert wants to be the synth quiz master for next week's show, just jump onto Discord, Robert. I don't know if you've got Discord, but jump onto Discord or email me or whatever you want to do. Get a message to me. Give me your 3 clues and the answer, and you'll be the quiz master for next week. That's if you want to do it. You don't have to, but
There's a question that Culture Ghost just asked me. If he decides to buy a Korg PA5X61, I can't supply one, I'm afraid. Because although I do still have an account with Korg, I cannot supply that.
yeah.
That's where my relationship with Korg is these days. So sorry, Korg, can't help you, mate. But had I been able to supply it, yes, you'd have got a great price from me.
I was going to ask you actually, Ian, what do you think of the B2, the digital piano?
It's a really, really good budget piano. I mean, is this for one of your kids to learn on?
Yeah, this is for Noah. Like he's only 10.
Yeah, it's excellent because the hammer action is really good. You know, I mean, yes, it's not as good as say one that's like 4 times the price, but for a sub, I think we're probably about £300 a year.
Yeah.
So maybe $600, something like that.
Yeah.
We sold a lot of B2s, and B1s before it, and we really rated it. It's a really, really good 88-note piano, and we would advise people to buy that then rather than buying them a keyboard, because you've got a proper action. You know,
Yeah.
So if they're going to learn piano, they're going to learn it properly on something like that.
Well,
It's got some other cool sounds in it as well. You know,
Yeah, I saw
Got
that.
a nice B3 sound as well. You
I
can't
noticed-
switch the hammer action off, though. That's all.
Well, I don't want to for him. But I noticed with that, the sort of the competitor would be Yamaha, Roland. I think there's Casios in there as well with some of their gear. And then you start getting into some serious money with Klaviyo and their stuff. But just with the sort of Yamaha, Roland sort of gear, Roland have got one that's about 50 quid more. That will kind of sort of I think it's the I forget which model it is, but it's not.
We did used to sell. When we had the shop, we sold Yamaha, Korg. We never sold Roland, but we sold Yamaha, Korg, and Casio. The Casio ones were always that bit more expensive for what they were. What do you know the model of the Yamaha?
The Yamaha one, I can't remember. It was. I can find out though. Let me have a look here.
Just digital piano.
Just do a search for this for you. I can actually tell you.
Is it the P225?
The Yamaha?
Yamaha, there's a P153B. Now, we used to sell the ones before that because it was a P130, maybe 140, something like that.
It's an
the Korg was the...
No, the one I was looking at was, it was more... this is really kind of stepping off the... This was a stage keyboard which had organ features on it, like drawbars and stuff on it. It was called the CK88.
So no built-in speakers.
I don't think so. No, but the
the
Roland did, and the Korg did, didn't it?
Yeah, the Korg got built-in speakers, and the speakers are good. They're actually underneath, if I remember rightly. And you get a good sound, and it's got a headphone socket. So if they want private practice, it might have had 2 headphone sockets, but don't quote me on that. It is at least
those
5
teacher ones
years
have
since I've seen
2,
one.
so you can have your teacher with the headphones.
Yeah.
I tried the Go piano, the 88 Go piano, and I don't know if it was me, but I thought the keys were a little plasticky compared to the Korg. The Korg felt like they had more of a solid feel about it.
We did. I tell you, we rated the Korg so much that we actually put, because the Korg did. I don't know if they still do, but they did the B1, and then the B2 came out after that.
Yeah.
And they had a B1 which was just a piano, and you put it on an X frame or on a table or something. And they did one with a frame around it, and we bought the one for the frame for our main practice room that we rented for lessons. So we changed it every 3 years, really. We'd use it for 3 years and sell it off, at trade. And every time we did that, so for those 9 years we had the shop, we put a Korg in. So we used them for piano practice for tutors to use. It was that good, really. So I would recommend that. That's a good buy, really. I mean, I when I played in bands in the past, I used to use the Yamaha P80, but it's not a home keyboard. It was a stage piano.
Yeah.
Well, that's got. I mean, that's
kind of your next step, isn't it? You go from a home to stage.
Up. Yeah. I mean, and that the weighted bottom end was slightly better than the Korg, but there again, you were paying quite a bit more for it. But no, I liked it a lot.
Well, I'm just kind of thinking where we're going to go with this. Where we're at with it is we either buy a proper acoustic piano, like a real one, not a digital one, and you can actually get acoustic pianos, and they also have digital manipulation in them as well. So, which are pretty cool. And that means that he'll have to play when he wants to play. He'll have to play it downstairs here, because I'm not going to keep a piano upstairs in his bedroom. But if I get the B2, he can just he's got a Yamaha PSR, whatever it's called, 61 key thing right now. And the problem with that is that he runs out of keys because he's learning proper music, right?
Yeah.
So
proper music,
I literally just pull that off and put the B2 on in its place. I mean, it will hang over a bit more, probably take up slightly a bit more width in his bedroom, but I think it'll fit, and that solves an immediate problem. And it's only, like you said, it's about £300, $600 to buy. It's pretty cheap. Sounded amazing, I thought. And you can plug headphones in it.
They sounded really, really good. Yeah. In fact, I felt the key bed of the B2 was better than the Kronos because I don't like the Kronos key bed at all. I get used to it when I'm playing it.
Except you can't turn the hammer off.
Can't you? No, I can manipulate the key bed slightly. I think you can manipulate it slightly on that as well, but we never did that. We just left it as it was set. But you can manipulate the one on the Kronos, but I've never been a fan of that really. But yeah, so it would get my vote.
Yeah, good one.
I mean, the Caustic Kai saying about the Studio Logic Numa X. We did sell Studio Logic, but we never sold the Numa X. I don't know whether that's Hammer Action, but there was a cheaper soft touch key piano that they did, which was very, very light. So if again, no speakers.
You can get Studio Logic here, can't you? I've seen the Sledge here.
Yeah, and I don't know what I mean. The one we stocked was the bottom of their range. We never stocked any of the ones further up. The GT. No, I don't know it. Yeah, but I don't know how much they are.
Oh no, that's a different price range.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it higher? Is it right?
Yeah. The Numa X is kind of in the thousands for us. So.
Oh right, no.
They do have a thing called an SL88 Grand.
Yeah, that rings a bell.
But I thought that was a MIDI controller.
Yeah, it is.
So I don't want a MIDI controller. I want a piano. So
yeah, they did let me look them up because it's obviously my information's at least 5 years out of date because it's when we gave up the shop. So
the SL is the controller. Okay, cool. Yep.
The Studio Logic piano.
He doesn't need a MIDI controller. I mean, for you guys, if you want hammer action,
I think that SL88 has got sounds though, but no speakers. It's not just a MIDI controller.
It doesn't need.
If it's just a piano and not all the extra fancy voices and stuff, and you're not going to use it for MIDI that much, the Casio Privia series isn't bad.
Well, we checked the Casios out, but the only thing I will say is the Korg had better keys, and we're talking.
Oh sure.
We're talking kind of
what about the price difference?
Micro different. Price is about the same. If you're looking at models, yeah. You're
looking the Privias were that's why I bought one a long time ago because it was really cheap compared to everything else. And
it'd be like $50 US.
I agree with it anyway, so I didn't care about the onboard sounds. But
the other thing to check with the Korg is that they did. I can't remember if it was the B2, but they did one which had the 3 pedals. You might have to pay extra for the 3 pedal. Set, but I thought you could use that with them. So it came as standard with the 2 pedals.
That Studio Logic does actually kind of tweak my interest. I'm just reading this right. It's got ivory touch wooden keys. It's got hammer action keyboard.
Yeah.
Can you turn off the hammer action? Not that I care, but that would be a cool thing.
I was curious about the third pedal. There's sustain and kind of dampen. What's the third pedal?
Dampener, isn't it?
No, the dampener is the normal one. It's a sostinato pedal. It's so that you can you play the note and it will linger while you've still got the pedal down. Is that right?
That's 2. What's the third one?
No, that's
sustain, dampen, and
sustain. Sustain, dampen, and
so you sustain is your normal.
Yeah.
You've got quiet.
I thought sustain was a sostenuto.
No, sustain is kind of like it basically takes, if you had a physical piano, it takes all the felt stoppers.
All the notes.
It's a complete
yeah.
Right. I see. Okay.
Yeah.
So sostenuto is like partial felt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, off the one,
so.
isn't it? It off the one.
It's just off the one. So
one
if you play two notes, yeah, yeah. So it's the one you've played, and you go to the next note, next string, next hammer.
Oh, interesting.
Actually,
Okay.
not hammer. We're talking. You need to play that Studio Logic. I don't.
I do. I need to check it out.
That we used to do. Yeah. Again, no speakers, so you'd have to have some sort of audio system for him to play it. Is there any headphones? I'm not seeing any. That's on the back. Maybe.
I just don't know where to get them from. I mean, they're only a couple of $100 more. So there's two things.
Socket.
Two things I want to find out is, can you turn the hammer action off, and where you can get them from, because you can't get them.
I don't see a headphone socket, but I'm just.
Interesting looking, ribbed looking side panel. It's quite. I'll show you this photo.
It's got loads of pedal options.
I'll show you this photo. It's quite meaty looking. Oh no, it's an AVIF file. Of course it is. Of course. What the hell? So here, I'm going to spend.
The only problem you've got with that, Ranzee, is there isn't a headphone socket on it. I can't see one anywhere.
So how do you? Oh, you have to put it through a mixer. Is that what you're saying?
You have to put it through a
or a DAW
hi-fi system, or
okay. I mean, it's not a big deal, but it's a bit stupid.
Yeah, it's absolutely a bit stupid.
I mean, I ask us anything. I'm asking you guys this week, but that's the look at the ribness on the side.
Yeah,
you see that?
Sizes.
It's kind of
chunky.
It's
kind of brutalist architecture style keyboard. It looks like it's made out of concrete.
Can I zoom in on that a bit?
You can scrape it like a gyro. Yeah.
Indeed, plectrum.
Like, it just looks so chunky.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah. That's a lot of screws for a side panel.
Oh, I mean, the keys are, I think the reason why they're showing the photo is because you can actually see the wood.
Cost says that's an old photo. That there's a Mark II version now, he says. So
that's the
it
old
might
one, is
have
it?
a headphone socket, apparently. I've got the picture from. Oh no, I'm looking at Tillman's actually. Tillman.
Well, anyway, I mean, I feel like you kind of.
You craps sustain pedal with it though.
The other thing is that you can get, so some of these digital pianos come with little stands, right? And they look like these kind of very minimalistic looking uprights. And they come, those stands, they're only like $150 for the stand. You can buy them separately. And they come with 3 pedals already built into the stand.
Yeah. Yep. So let's have a look at Korg. Piano. Yeah, because the B2, the piano set is the one with the 3 pedals and that.
So I take it the Pneuma is well built, not like the Sledge where it's kind of chintzy feeling.
It's not as, I don't think I don't know. I've never seen a Pneuma. I only saw the cheaper one that they had about 5 years ago. It was plastic, so I don't know about the Pneuma.
Still plasticky.
Yeah, you pay a bit more for it's the B2 SP is the one with the sides and the 3 pedals.
B2
so
SP.
Here,
B2 SP.
yeah, it's 479 rather than just 299 for the actual.
I can't hear the name Pneuma without thinking of that famous meme, the Pneuma guy. Remember that?
Does the B2 SP have the stand built? Is that what it's for?
Yeah,
or
yes.
Or is that?
It's the stand and the pedals.
Okay.
So it's a wooden stand.
So it's basically a B2 with the stand. Yeah.
It is. It's exactly the same piano. So it comes with a wooden Sans, and there's two backboards, one that the actual pedals fit to, and a board behind it.
I mean, it looks kind of neat, I guess.
Yeah, that's what we used in the teaching room.
Well, this is what I'm saying. Like for a 10-year-old kid,
yeah, it's perfect.
it might be. It's got a headphone port on it at the back.
Yeah. Has it got one or two headphones? I'm just going to try and see.
I can't remember.
Oh, God, that's small.
You can get white one too.
Yeah, you can get a white one. I've never seen the white one in the flesh, but I've got a video there. Hang on, what's that?
Is it fairly heavy?
No, they're really light.
No, it's not actually.
No.
It's really light. Oh, WebP. Leave me alone.
You love WebPs.
It's haunting you.
The white one's nice, actually.
Korg used PNGs. Korg, you guys are amazing. See? PNGs.
Yeah.
Yeah, PNG's
Solves the WebP problem.
That means they just don't use the latest and greatest because PNG is an old format. So
Still does the job though. There.
Oh, I love PNGs. But
That's the white
they
one.
also have an alpha channel.
That's the white one.
You know.
Yeah.
So you got the alpha channel right there. That's PNG.
Isn't that great?
That's right.
It is, yeah.
I do not have a problem with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
Oh, so
technology.
they've now put that looks slightly different to when we had it. So the speakers are now in the top because they were in the bottom.
across the top, yeah. But the thing that annoys me a little bit about that is everything's white except the little pedal array. They kept that black.
Yeah, that's just
they've just tacked that on.
Well, they probably figured your shoes are going to get it all dirty, so.
I mean, geez, you can order it from Gear for Music. It's pretty cheap there. Comes with a headphone.
But we now have bought. Have you heard? They've bought the stock of GAC and the website, but not they've not taken any of the debt.
The debt. Yeah.
Yeah. So they've basically bought. They're not going to use the GAC name, but if you go on the GAC website now, it takes you to Gear for Music. So they paid just over 2 million, I think, for it.
Just for the stock.
What is GAC an acronym, or what is
GAC?
No, GAC was a store in the UK.
Yeah, 1.8.
Someone's name that was an acronym.
It's a Gear Amp Keyboard.
Oh, okay.
I thought it stood for yeah.
It's a guitar amp key. It's not Gear, is it? It's guitar amp keyboard.
Yeah.
So they 1.8 for the. I think 1.8. I read 1.8 for the actual stock, and the other 500,000 for the name and something else. You know, intellectual property, I guess, isn't
it? For $1,000 Aussie, I can get the B2 with the stand, the SP, with a stool, and with a Sub-Zero pair of headphones.
You don't want the Sub-Zero pair of headphones. But,
they're shocking. And the stool looks like you could probably pick it up from IKEA for about $5.
Yeah.
There you go. Well,
I'm still anything, so
I'm still leaning towards the B2, bananas and pajamas, B1, B2. I think I'll get little Noah to go and play it and see what he says.
See what.
I mean, he probably like we'll go to a normal piano shop and he'll probably like a baby grand. I guarantee you.
Absolutely,
he'll get his fingers on that. But
has he started to play stuff that goes down to the super low and super high keys?
He's doing
stuff, or is it?
Yeah, he's doing grade 3 now. Grade 3 is in like piano grade 3. So, and I think next year he'll start when he does his grade 3 exam, which is bronze level. He'll go to grade 4. And then that becomes, when he goes to grade 4, that's silver level.
Probably by the end of next year, he'll go to gold level, which is grades, because you don't actually have to go through every single exams. You can go from grade 3. Yeah. I think we went from grade 1 to grade 3, so we missed 2 because it's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
And then you can go from 3 to 4. I think you have to do that. But then 4, you can go to 6, I think. I forget now. Or it's something like that. But anyway, by the time he's in high school, he'll probably be at gold level if he keeps going the way he's going. So when he's at gold level, then he's classified as a piano leader in the piano sort of examining realm. And he can actually teach younger kids if he wants to.
Oh, wow.
He can actually take lessons.
Does he want to play in the orchestra, or does he just want to teach?
He's already he already plays like violin, plays in an orchestra at school, and he doesn't play piano.
As a pianist in the orchestra.
No, just violin. But because usually they have like a really well accompanied teacher that does the piano accompaniment in the orchestra, and generally speaking, like you need someone who's got like a long musical history to be able to sort of, if you've got an orchestra that's gone off whack, you'd be able to get them back on and play with them and slow down and speed up. And young kids can't really do that. I mean, they could, but not as good as someone who's experienced. So that's why you have a teacher do that, or they have like a staff member do that. But he does. He does
piano's
concerts.
out, you're in big trouble. So
so he does what they call recitals, and there's 2 things he does. He does recitals, which happens a couple of times a year, and then everyone just goes and watches him and a whole bunch of other kids play. And the pool of kids that play is shrinking each year because kids will go, I don't want to do it anymore, and their parents go, that's all right, little Johnny, you don't have to do it anymore. And then
they're all doing TikTok.
Yeah. So, and the kids that are left are all the good players, right? And so these piano recitals, you don't get these numpty kids playing anymore, which is awesome because, like, it's kind of like, you're completely, this kid is butchering this song. And now it's kind of getting to the cream sort of bubbles to the top sort of thing. So it's good with that. And then he does this thing called a music festival where they actually get assessed. So it's different to an exam. They can win prizes with the music festival. So they'll do a recital piece and then they'll play that in front of an examiner. And the examiner's kind of not really like in an exam situation. It's in front of an audience and the examiner's sitting there as well. And then they'll mark an exam, that particular piece. And then depending on how well he goes, he'll win an award. And if he's really, really good, he'll get asked to compete at the sort of national level, and he gets to fly and compete around the country and things like that. So he's not at that level yet, but some of the kids are, and it's pretty cool. And they pay for it and everything. So
it's brilliant.
Nice.
I mean, I think
check this out.
While he's in
this
that
new Sweetwater ad I got, is this the playing violin in your little comfy chair?
Yeah.
Curling up.
Jeez, you must be like tiny.
A wood nymph, yeah.
I was just going to say, like, whilst he's young and we can get him to do this stuff, because when he gets older, he'll probably lose interest, right?
You'll discover girls.
Yeah.
Join a band. Join a band.
Chris, did you want to show something, did you?
No. Well, we can go out with a bit of that's that. Okay, yes, that's what happens when you're playing around looking at a.
You weren't looking.
That's what happens when you map. This is what happens when you map keys, shortcut keys, to your OBS Studio, and you're busily looking at a PDF of the RS9 to see how it maps its MIDI numbers. You look like you're actually trying to get someone to do something, but. We might as well do something. You're interested in seeing some lights chasing a filter sweep on a SEM filter?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. Well, why not?
And we can finish the show with that, hey?
To that. That's what I was thinking. So that's the guy there. And I'm going to move this guy so you can see the lights. So you can see my lights there.
Mm-hmm.
My LED strip. There, and
colorful version of Kit.
So that's
You get
the
the bro
general
step
idea,
style there.
Yay!
Womp, 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 womp.
That was cool. Like
Yes. So that was, I call that my vacuum swallowed a bagpipe.
There you go.
Because it kind of sounds like bagpipes.
I'm glad it didn't swallow another type of bag. That's good.
That's for all the Scottish people out there.
Yes.
So if you used a shit snare, it would be a colostomy bag.
It could be, yeah.
A mouth
Or haggis. Oh, that would be
mouth-
haggis, wouldn't it?
A mouthful of Fife. Yeah. Well, we should end the show, guys, because it's been lovely. It's 10 past midnight here, so much appreciate everyone's efforts for this week. It was good fun. I enjoyed it, and if I enjoy it, so should you. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe and all that sort of stuff, and go to these guys' channels. There are links in the description below. Nice to see you guys. Wave goodbye, everyone. Hooray! Bye,
Everybody.
Bye, everyone. Bye, chatties.
See you guys. See you guys.